Boom. How about now? I don't know why the mic volume was turned all the way low. Hopefully that's good enough. But yes. Yes, hopefully we're good. We're good. I'm sorry. We're back. I'm gonna start over. Listen, shout out to you guys and welcome back. But listen, we are going to be talking about something very important, all right? Because one of the Red Pill's biggest heavy hitters has officially announced that they are leaving the space, okay? They're finito. They are done. They're no longer associated with the Red Pill. And realistically, all of this has to do with the debacle Rolo has basically put the entire manosphere through. All right, look, that's what he did. He basically has done this, and what he's doing right now is he's basically going around pretending like, oh no, yeah, I predicted the downfall of the manosphere. See, I told y'all that the manosphere was gonna get canceled. I said it because I'm Rolo. I'm the genius. Okay, I'm the genius, Rolo, and I called it. All right, it's not because I'm incompetent. No, I'm smart. I'm a genius. I'm Rolo. Okay, I knew that the Red red pill was going to go downhill because all the people who are grifting into the red pill space, like Adam Sosnick, but I'm cool with Adam Sosnick now, but all these other people, like whatever podcast, although I'm cool with them, I'm going to go on their podcast show soon, they're grifting off the red pill because they know the power of the red pill. That's what Rolo's acting like right now. He's trying to pretend that he's predicting the downfall of the red pill, not realizing he's actually responsible for the downfall of the red pill. All right, his incongruent talking points, his inconsistencies on certain subjects, he doesn't even realize he is solely responsible of chasing people away from the entire red pill space. And the biggest heavy hitter to basically say sayonara, adios amigo to the red pill movement is the Tate brothers. All right, and we're gonna cover that because this happened just now. A story broke on Destiny stream, and we're gonna cover that because Abba was talking about it too. And essentially, as it turns out, it seems as though the Tate brothers, they want nothing to do with the red pill now. All right, and this has to do, this comes right after Rolo did his bullshit. After he did the bullshit on the, on the whole vasectomies and, trying to give people advice. And just for fun sakes, we're going to play that first for just a little bit of context so you guys can understand where we're coming from. But still, all right, that's what he's going with right now. And realistically, I wonder who else Rolo Tomasi is going to chase away from the space. Realistically, I see Fresh and Fit being on the chopping block because what that interview or that debate did was basically make Fresh and Fit look like a bunch of knob slobbering clowns. Okay, yes, they be slobbering on Rolo Tomasi's knob because none of them really actually were able to grow a brain and be objective. What it shows that these red pill guys are gonna, at the end of the day, choose to defend their money, their pocketbooks, over what the truth actually is, even though they claim to be the guys telling other men the truth about red pill. But it turns out that they're getting exposed. So believe it or not, there is still going to be a physical debate between Rolo and Destiny, and you best believe we're going to be covering that. That's going to happen on the Fresh and Fit podcast if Rolo has the balls to show up. Right now, he's doing a live stream trying to explain everything away, and it's horrible. We'll cover that. It's gonna be hilarious. All right, this guy's acting like you predicted the downfall of the manosphere. Rolo, is that what you and Ryan Stone are doing? Ryan Stone, the guy looks like a fucking haggard, divorced single dad. All right, doesn't know whether he's living out his what is it, his glory days or what. What's with the sunglasses, Ryan? Take the goddamn sunglasses off. You're 40. God damn it, you're 40 at your goddamn age, all right? Y'all niggas are not top G, you're bottom bitches. So relax on that wearing the sunglasses indoors bullshit, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these dudes, they're high schoolers trying to pretend that they're cool, okay? These guys have a bunch of midlife crises they haven't had resolved yet, okay? If you look at Rolo, this dude has been dyeing his hair ever since he's been talking to girls on Fresh and Fit. Yeah, this 27-year-old married dude is over here trying to live his life vicariously through a bunch of young dudes online. Like, shame on you, bro. Like, you're supposed to be preaching a whole different life that you're doing right now. It's just sad to see how the mighty have fallen. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the original video of Rolo getting exposed, and it provides a lot more context to what's happening now because Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, they are out of the manosphere. And it actually gets me thinking, all right? Does this mean they're going to get done with Fresh and Fit? Realistically, I don't think so. I think they're still going to be cool with Fresh and Fit. You'll see them on the show. But does this mean they're going to be having any association with Rolo Tomasi? Not like they did to begin with. But at this point, no. All right? Because Rolo Tomasi has fixated himself as the head of the manosphere, or the godfather of the manosphere. So it is what the hell it is, okay? I do see that Andrew Tate making this step to basically distance himself from the red pill is a big step because it shows you that the long-term viability of this movement, it ain't gonna last. It's not gonna last. And guys, realistically, let's pat ourselves on the back a little bit, okay? Can y'all in the chat just take the time to pat yourselves on the back? Because at the end of the day, we did this. We did this. That's why listen, there's a reason why they're coming at reaction channels very, very, very hard right now. They're coming at us, and the reason why they're coming at us really bad is because we are exposing them, and they do not like it. They don't. They hate the fact that we're calling them out. They hate the fact that we're exposing the truth, and they want to be able to either silence us or try to disparage us by saying that all we do is reactive videos. Meanwhile, they do the exact same thing. So, guys, we wouldn't have done it without y'all support. Realistically, we wouldn't have done it without you guys, okay? You guys are the ones that, support the channel. You guys are the ones that watch me clown these guys, that give it enough notoriety to get to the point where it's getting them mad. So now, what you're going to see within the next couple months, as the red pill starts to fall apart, what you guys are going to start seeing is they're going to heavily target reaction channels like ours, all right? My channel's already been demonetized to the point where I got removed from the YouTube partnership program. This wasn't any old demonetization video where they'll just change your video from monetization to limited ads. No, they removed my entire partnerships all because one woman had a problem with it, okay? So realistically, they are looking at us right now as the next big threat. Watch what they're saying, okay? They're coming at reaction channels. Anyone who's reacting to anybody who's in the manosphere right now, you have a big target on your back, all right? But don't worry, all right? Duke the Down, we got your back. We're going to cover everything. Don't worry about it. Listen. As long as we come together, except for certain other bodos, all right? Y'all know who I'm talking about. He shall not be named ever. But still, except for certain people, if they get canceled, we don't care, all right? But all the other content creators, listen, y'all, we got your back. We're going to speak the truth, all right? We're going to have that loudspeaker. It don't matter. So if your reaction video, listen, I highly encourage you, even if you're just new, starting out, okay? Come out and do a video. Come out and expose these guys. We want as many people exposing these people as possible because they are feeling the heat. They can no longer ignore us. We cannot be ignored. They all know who we are, and they hate us for it. Without that being said, let's go play the video, chat.
Compatible or not is very important.
If you're compatible, but in terms of would this be a good mom? Is it what if she throws it back doggy? She'd probably take the kids out to the park every day. What does that even mean? What? She doesn't swallow. I don't think she.
Jared, I saw your post. Don't spam. But yeah, I saw what he said. He said the N-word, but yeah, we'll play that. Don't spam it. I see your post. Don't spam.
Feed my kid if I didn't make it home in time? What does that mean?
Okay,
so she shows up to blow me every night, so I know she'll be on time picking my kid up from school. What is the correlation here?
The whole package itself, right, is going to include sex. I'm just saying the dating process itself, going through the whole motions, you can see who the person really is. That's all I'm saying here.
He said he wants to call in and tell us what he actually meant.
I guess. Here's a novel idea. How about you tell me, let me call it to tell you what I actually meant.
You know what? Let's do it, bro.
Let's go ahead and bring Rolo Tomasi on. Shout out to Rolo. Shout out to you.
Can you hear me okay?
What up, man? Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So let me explain a few things here. I wasn't able to do this the last time you guys were talking about this, but so about, gosh, is it now 2 weeks ago? I think it was Tuesday of last week. You guys had Brandon Carter on. Is that with Derek Moneyberg? Or was that Monday? Monday. Sorry, let me get my camera back up there. So Monday, you guys were talking to Brandon Carter. One of the things that Brandon was talking about was you got to love money. You got to be on top of your game. And I love Brandon Carter, by the way. I think he should be a stand-up comedian. I mean, the guy is that funny. He's a great guy, right? But when you guys are on that show and you're talking to him, and he's talking about how he doesn't go to he doesn't go to Publix, doesn't go grocery shopping for himself. He doesn't go do his own laundry. He doesn't have a car. I mean, it's Brickle White, but he doesn't have some basic stuff because his philosophy in life is that anything that takes him away from his grind, anything that takes him away from anything that would distract him or that would be financially or mathematically not a pragmatic choice for him to make, as far as if he's spending time going grocery shopping or going and getting food for himself or whatever else. I'm sure he's getting a meal prep and everything else, but pretty much everything in his life is outsourced, because anything that he would be spending that time himself to go do, he could be losing money doing that at that time. So when I was listening to this and I was thinking about this myself, because I was actually at the same time, I'm helping a friend move and all this. And I'm thinking about this. I'm going, you know what? If you want to be a high value man, if you want to get to that apex level as fast as you can, how is that not the best way to go about it? Okay. So the point of that whole tweet, which was basically a throwaway tweet that everyone started snowballing into something else. I've got Ben Shapiro coming at me. I got Matt Walsh coming at me. I got Lauren Chen coming at me. I got all these people off of Daily Wire because it was just easy, low hanging fruit for these guys because they.
No, it wasn't easy, low-hanging fruit. It's because you guys, in order to grow, a lot of you red pillars attracted the religious types, right? Because a lot of you guys are preaching that traditional marriage shit. A lot of y'all, if you got look at guys like Myron, you guys are preaching the Islam shit, right? So what happens when you bring a bunch of religious guys into the red pill? Well, guess what? They're gonna be able to they'll fuck with the things you're saying, but then when you go against things that go against what they believe in, like family creation and pretty much abortion for men. I mean, it's not abortion for men, but vasectomies. You're pretty much sterilizing your entire fan base. All right, those religious guys like Ben Shapiro, they're not going to support that. All right, so they're going to start backpedaling and say, hey. I don't know who this Rolo guy is, but he sounds like a clown. But Rolo's trying to make it seem like I am being persecuted. Matt Walsh, all right? Matt Walsh just had it in for me. But if you go on Rolo's channel, Rolo Tomasi does nothing but talk shit about Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh. That's all he does. The reason why he talks shit about Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh is because, let's just be real, Ben Shapiro has way more clout than Rolo Tomasi, so does Matt Walsh. They both have the Daily Wire, all right? And they're all successful but Rolo. So Rolo is the same guy, old guy, who's hanging on for whatever desperate clout he can, hang on to, okay? But he's seen guys like Matt Walsh, he's seen guys like Ben Shapiro, who he really wants to be like, right? Rolo would kill to have his platform be like a Matt Walsh, right? If people worshipped Rolo the way they worship Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro, Rolo would dream of that. But to him, he understands that the manosphere is too small and his fans are too stupid to elevate him to that category. So why not be the king? It's better to be a king of idiots than to get that kind of notoriety he's looking for. So at every single step that he takes, he's always shitting on Matt Walsh. He's always shitting on Ben Shapiro. He's shitting on pretty much all these high-profile political commentators or conservative political commentators because that's desperately where he wants to be. All right, he's just hating at this point. You're looking at the dumb ramblings of an old man who's lost his sauce and he's on his dying leg. That's just what it is. M. Dodd, shout out to you for the super chat. He says, does this mean they'll no longer do collaborations with the Red Pill content creators? I don't think so, because Andrew Tate realistically still needs some of these Red Pill guys to go for it. So he's probably still going to do content with Fresh and Fit and some of these bozos. But other than that, I think, yeah, on the most part, are you going to see a Rolo Tomasi collaboration with Andrew Tate anymore? No. If they were, it's not going to happen. If there were anything in the future, it's probably not going to happen. Realistically, I'm going to make a prediction. A lot of people are going to start distancing themselves from Rolo Tomasi, either quietly or publicly, but either way, they're going to distance themselves because Rolo Tomasi has made himself a big enough idiot where now everyone's looking at him for the fraud he actually is. So, yeah, I think on some level that's true. Ace does stuff. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, I love how Rolo's ideas of a high-value man essentially boils down to, if I like you, or not, personally, these guys are modern women. Facts. They're the opposite of what they hate, which is modern women. So when we talk about the red pill, basically just feminism for men, we're not joking. All right? You guys are sitting there and you go, oh, yeah, screw those feminists. Oh, yeah, you got to get these feminists and these femi people. And it turns out that they're the exact opposite. So that's the truth we've been trying to wake you up from. That's a pill we're trying to pop into you, the no pill. Take the no pill, all right, and then get rid of all these other pills in your system so you can see the truth. These guys are fraudsters. They're turning you guys into male feminists. You're becoming exactly what you hate. You're turning into your enemy, bruh. Don't. Junior, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. He says, the king of the sinking red pill ship. That's Rolo. That's him. He's the king of the sinking ship, and he doesn't realize it yet. It's going bye-bye. All right, but yeah, it's over. It's over. All right, guys. I'm telling you, it's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. The red pill is over, and who would have thought Rolo Tomasi would be the one to destroy it? I didn't actually. Honestly, chat. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't think it would be Rolo. I thought, honestly, if there was anyone that would destroy the red pill, I thought it was Fresh and Fit. Realistically, I thought it would be Fresh and Fit. I had no idea that the Godfather himself would be the one to destroy his own creation. But honestly, it makes so much sense. Like, you can't argue with it. So, I'm not surprised.
They think that that's what the fucking manosphere is all about, and it's not. Okay, that was not fucking advice. Everything that is on Twitter is not advice. Okay,
was that a joke?
No, it was not necessarily a joke, but it's like, let's just say it's a hypothetical. Okay, it's showing you now. Listen, hypothetical is for just 5 seconds. Okay, this is no joke here because everything.
He's getting triggered. He's getting triggered.
Come out of both of you guys' mouth has been nothing but distraction and misdirection because it's easy and clicks for you. So here's the whole thing. When I'm talking about get a vasectomy, or don't be concerned with
when he's mad, his glasses get uneven on his nose. You see?
Let him finish.
Okay.
I'm really mad about this, bro.
Look how brown his hair is, guys. You see how brown Rolo's hair is? You see that shit right there? This is hair dye. It doesn't even match his beard. It's like, bro, you're using hair dye. Somebody tell me you're having a midlife crisis without telling me you're having a midlife crisis right now. That's Rolo Tomasi. Why are you hair dyeing, bro? Is it that bad? You're wearing the hats and listen, at least I know I got a big hairline and there are videos of me. I do without my hat, so I don't care. You can clown me all I want. I got hairline, but I'm not you. I'm not dyeing my hair, bruh. Like, you're going through a midlife crisis trying to keep up with these young guys. You can't do it, bruh. You're too old. Get out of the game. Look at the hair dye. Your hair isn't supposed to be that brown at 50. You're middle-aged. Come on.
Wait, shall we keep going? Are we just going to have jokes thrown in here?
Really heated about this.
Is that what I get to? Is that what I get to do it? Okay, so here's the deal. When I'm talking about this, when I'm throwing this out there, why wouldn't you do that? Would you not have been more successful, Sneako, had you not had to go through certain things? If you had a kid right now,
advice or not?
You would be playing the game with a handicap. You would be playing the game with your fucking hands tied behind your back.
Okay, so
there are guys right now who I have a lot of respect for, and I'm sure you have a lot of respect for as well, who all have kids, but you know what they try to do? They try to keep it under wraps.
Okay,
so make sure nobody knows about the kids. Okay.
Do you know who he's talking about? He's talking about Andrew Tate. Because for the longest time, Andrew Tate was able to come out here on social media and say all the shit he says about women and single mothers. Meanwhile, he's making single mothers and he has kids. So when he's telling you they're high-profile guys that have kids right now that no one would ever respect, all right, but they're saying shit, he's referring to Andrew Tate. Yeah, Andrew Tate is a single daddy. He makes single mamas but rails against them, which makes it just absolutely hilarious. But yes, all right, and you wonder why Andrew Tate doesn't want to fuck with y'all dumbasses anymore. Because in the minute y'all get pressed, you're trying to throw everybody else under the bus so they can sink with your sinking ship. Like, he's talking about Tate. A lot of people didn't know that Andrew Tate has kids. They do. See, these guys online, they come out here and try to paint a different lifestyle, right? Because you look at Andrew Tate, right, you would have never thought this guy actually has a family. You wouldn't have thought. Yeah, we all knew. Did his fans know? No. They all thought he was a single eligible bachelor living his life in Ukraine. Or not Ukraine, I'm sorry, Romania. Right? But turn to find out, this guy actually has kids. What example was he setting for his kids? Being an internet pimp in Romania. Getting busted for trafficking. No wonder this dude was struggling in the Romanian jail cell because he was wondering, how the fuck am I going to get back to my kids in the UK? My kids are stuck in the UK. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I got stuck up here doing this shit for the internet. Andrew Tate just, Rolo Tomasi just exposed the fact that Andrew Tate has kids. He has kids, he has a whole family. There's nothing wrong with that, but why deny your fucking children? There's nothing more despicable and weak as a man to not come out here and admit that you have kids. At least I admit I have a daughter, right? Y'all can clown me all you want. Call me Blue Pill. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not going to deny my kid. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, but oh yeah, you want to over here be playing bachelors and shit, huh? You want to play like you were a single man, so you can go ahead and play up your advice. Cause you know why Andrew Tate denied his kids? Cause then people would have questioned him, why are you talking all this shit about women? And you got daughters at home, bro. So it's best to just hide their own kids. They're all clowns. I can't stand each and every one of them.
This advice.
So here's okay. First off, this is not advice. Everything that is on my show or is on Twitter is not automatically advice. Now,
What is it?
but here's the thing. You know what you're gonna say, because here's the deal. When I was on whatever podcast I was telling this, I was saying exactly the same thing here, is that everything that comes out of somebody's mouth on Instagram or on Twitter or on a YouTube, there's no way you can't go on there without somebody going, this is what these guys are saying to do. Because if you have this set automatically, that if it comes out of your mouth, it's automatically advice, it can't just be data. It can't just be statistics. It can't be, nothing can be just delivered sort of like.
You weren't given data. All you did was a stupid list of what young men should be doing. And people took that as advice. Even though you're sitting here lying that it's not advice, people still took that as advice. So call it what the hell you want to call it, bro. Either way, you gave out advice. Yeah, top 3 things to be a high-value man quickly. Where's the data in that? All you did was gave some generic shit. There's no data. So stop trying to hide behind this pseudo-intellectualism like you're some kind of like brilliant guy that's misunderstood. We understand you very well. You're an idiot pretending to be smart. You're a LARPer. You're LARPing as a genius. That's what you are. Anytime somebody says Lorlo, he's just a genius LARPer. All right? He's a manosphere guy trying to LARP as an intellectual. Stop it. All right? We know you're not smart. You're stupid. Anyone who advocates for mass sterilization of their own audience, you deserve to be clowned. And you don't like being clowned. Listen, if it was any other thing that you posted up there on Twitter and people were congratulating you, telling you that was great advice, you'd come out here and say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I give good advice. All right? It's not prescriptive, but I'm Rollo Tomasi and I give very good advice. Yeah, you know. Yeah, but now you getting clowned for it all of a sudden. Oh, you guys don't even read my book. And I can tell you guys don't even watch my content because I don't give out advice, okay? I prescribe things, but I don't give out advice, all right? Jeez, you guys need to grow up. I mean, where'd you guys come from, Twitch?
Here's some data for you to look at. Okay, nothing can be set, nothing can be given to you without somebody going, well, the reason why you're telling me this is because you're telling me that this is the best way to live my life. Okay, so when I'm watching Brendan Carter and I'm watching all this going on, and I'm looking at like guys that I know and guys that you know as well. And when these are the guys who are like saying, you know, be on your game, do this, do that. They're the ones that are giving this advice. All I'm doing is saying, hey, look, maybe you should not focus on family. Maybe you should not get married. I mean, I don't know why that's big.
It's maybe advice.
I'm not saying it's advice. What I'm saying is that this is so over the fucking top that everybody wants to take it out of context, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
So what is it? Can you tell me what that tweet was if it wasn't advice?
It's not advice. What it is it's okay. It's saying that this is the most extreme way to do things. Okay. Here's the quickest path to, if I told you this, look, if I said the quickest way for you to make $1 million,
that sounds like advice,
is to go steal it from the bank or go to steal it. Does that mean I'm telling you to go steal it? If I tell you to go fucking jump off a cliff, are you going to go jump off a cliff?
Right,
I'm also, by the way, here's the other thing is I'm also responding to Dr. Richard Reeves in this as well.
Okay. There's a lot of context about it. Sure. But all the rest of the lists,
Bro, this is advice. The quickest path to becoming a high-value man. Do not get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy in your 20s. Rollo has a family. Andrew Tate has a family. Now you see why Andrew Tate's done with the red pill. Andrew Tate didn't get a vasectomy. You see why he's done with the red pill. He's done with you, Rollo. You're done. You fucked up. You destroyed your baby. Don't get married. You've been married for 27 years. You see why Andrew Tate is saying that the red pill is for autistic people. He said that. That was an Andrew Tate tweet. We're gonna get to the video after this post here. They're done with the red pill, bozo, because of this bullshit right here. The first 3 basically is sterilizing a mass group of men. Y'all have a problem when the government is sterilizing women, but here are the red pill guys who are sterilizing men. Live consistently. Eliminate all sedations. Learn game and networking. Play to your strength. Build wealth. Resist easing up on your focus. All of these are so generic and bland. I can flip open the book, right? Chicken Coop for the Soul. It could probably have something in there. And I read that book. It probably does have 1 or 2 of those things in there. None of this shit is original. And you mad because you're getting clowned. You're an idiot, Rolo.
Equating vasectomy to lifting, game, play to your strength, resisting up on easing your focus. The rest of it sounds like general advice.
Okay, well let's say so. So let me ask you. So is it the vasectomy part that's throwing you off?
Really genuine good advice, right? The rest of it.
Is it the vasectomy part?
Yeah,
the
that's
vasectomy part? Do you agree with pretty much everything else except for the vasectomy part?
The first three is weird because then I don't even know what the red pill idea of a high value man is. Is it just being rich? Like, what's the point of having all this money and not having a family? Why be that rich? The guy who's always grinding. Whoa, Brandon Carter doesn't have to do his laundry. Sick. What else are you going to do with your life?
Right. Maybe this is actually meant so that you'll get it. You'll have a freaking epiphany about how all the shit that you have to sacrifice to get to that in the first place. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to live the kind of life, let's say like a Brandon Carter is, where you're going to outsource your entire life? Or are you going to actually have kids? Is that something that's a priority for you? Because I will tell you right now that if you follow this if you were to actually follow this list right here, that is the fastest way for you to get to a point where you are more high value.
So that's advice, you dumb fuck. Oh my God, you idiot. I'm not giving out advice, but if you follow this list, that is the fastest way that you can be a high value man. But it's not advice. But follow it, you'll get there. What do I call it? Hey, this is just a guidance. All right, let's call it a guidance. You're giving out guidance on how to be a high value man. And part of your guidance is having a vasectomy. So you're guiding men to not procreate with women and also get vasectomies. That's what you're doing. Well, I mean, what else do you want to call it if it's not advice, Rolo? Why put some bullshit like that out there? I digress.
Right. So here's the thing. So when I say that, people go, well, that's not what a high value man is. A high value man is what I define it as, which is he's got to have a good, loving, devoted wife. He's got to have 3 or 4 kids or 10 kids, depending on whatever culture you're talking about. All of this stuff that makes up whatever that person who happens to have that is, then that's suddenly the definition of what a high value man is. So what I'm saying this is the best way to become a high value man. I'm not saying this is the only way to become a high value man. I'm just saying that this is the fastest way to go and do something like that.
You've been talking a lot for 5 minutes. What is your definition of a high value man?
It doesn't matter. That's not what I was talking about in this.
It doesn't matter.
I have what you're talking about. That's what the first part of the tweet is: how to become a high value man.
The fastest way to become a high value man.
It's the same thing. You just added the word "the fastest way." What's different from what Destiny said, bro? That's what you're saying. You're saying what's the difference between the fastest way to be how to be a high value man and the fastest way to be the high value man? It's just the word fastest way to get a high value man. What are you doing? What are you doing, bruh? What are you doing? His Royal Thuffness says, you love to see it. I'm laughing at all the destroyed channels now. Fraud and hypocrites, every single one. Yeah, they're all frauds. But when I used to call them out, a lot of people said, oh, no, Duke, you were the fraud. Go back to our old videos. There's some people in the comment section, they're probably in this chat right now, they were clowning us. But now I told y'all, I wasn't kidding. When you're telling the truth, I don't have to do anything else but tell the truth. And the truth would just automatically come out. That's why I told you 2023 is going to be your vindication. All right, we will be vindicated. Every single person that said we were hating, clout chasing, or doing whatever the hell they were saying we're doing, we will be vindicated. Listen, everybody knows that when they're telling the truth, there's confidence when you tell the truth. There's real confidence. When you're telling the truth and you know that you're telling the truth, there's real confidence. You don't need to sit there and make up stories. You don't need to sit here and make up lies. You don't need to sit here and do any goddamn thing but be confident in yourself and be unwavering. And when you're unwavering and confident, eventually people will come around. 2023, people are coming around. And now 2023 might spell the beginning of the end of the entire manosphere. All thanks to Rolo. He can't blame nobody else but him. He did this. Watch him trying to get out of this. He did this. But he's going to blame Adam Sosnick. He's going to blame the Whatever podcast. He's going to blame everyone that's trying to pretend to be fresh and fit, like you have any ownership. Fresh and Fit bastardized the entire movement, and you destroyed it, Rolo. That's what they don't want to get. They want to get it through the thick skulls. You did this, Rolo. And you know what Rolo's doing right now? Rolo's going around saying that I predicted the downfall of the red pill. I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, all these people grifting into our space, like Pearl, I knew it was going to happen. But this is you. You did the final blow. We playing the video right now. Oh, my God. You destroyed the red pill, and we're grateful for it. That the person who claims to be the founder is also the killer of the red pill. Like, what do you call it? Is it infanticide? Right? It's infanticide, right? You killed your baby, Rolo. Shame on you.
To recognize the fact that you've got sacrifices to make. Okay.
So
like
what is
grandpa
that?
telling like stories from Vietnam. Like, just say, what is a high value man? It's the first part of the tweet. What does that mean?
You tell me what a high value man is. Because here's the thing: is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I'm going to say is a high value man. You guys are fucking
Because it's your tweet.
It's your baby.
It doesn't matter what I say is a high value man because everybody takes this. The point of the tweet is that everybody is going to take this and then insert their own definition of what a high value man is.
What if a high value
That's
man
the
is
bait.
12 kids when you're 16? Then your tweet doesn't work, does it? What if your definition of a high value man is being getting into a trade and having 5 kids by the time you're 22? Then it also high value man is being an esports professional.
You're absolutely making my point for me right here. Okay.
How? No, Rolo. This is where your ignorance come into play. You're making our point for us. The fact that you can't define a high value man, but you spent decades. That's years upon years upon years upon years shaming people, writing books on high value man. I got 3 of your books sitting right here. Here's the first one, right? Number 2 over there says a woman is incapable of loving a man the way a man wants to be loved. Actually, I'm sorry. I got number 2 right here. Oh my God. Yeah, the iron rules of Roll Tomasi. Hold up, did I save that page? The iron rules of Roll Tomasi, number 6. Where is that bitch, right? A woman is incapable of loving a man the way a man wants to be loved. That's your shit. That's you. So now, post all these books that you've been writing. When push comes to shove, you can't answer a simple question of what a high value man is. You're writing books on rational male. All right. This one's on preventative medicine right here. You guys can see it, right? Preventative medicine. The first one, book 1, positive masculinity. Right there. That's you. Roll Tomasi. Rational male. You think we're stupid? You think we don't read? You think we just come out here and talk shit? So you can't use that criticism against us. Oh, you haven't read my book. I've read your book, stupid. And it made me realize that you were stupid, Rolo. I'm sorry. This shit is so convoluted. You're a bozo! You make rules for young men who don't know any better. And yet these guys are so brainwashed, they think you're actually saving their lives. You're a loser.
This is what I'm saying.
My point is that high value man, you gave a list of 8 things. Do these 8 things to become a high value man. Do 1 through 8 to become A. And you're not defining what A is.
The fastest way to becoming a high value man is these things.
What is that?
Okay? So here's the thing. So if we're talking about family creation, we already talked. Okay, so you want to go? Okay, let's go one by one. You want to go one by one? Okay,
No,
so
I want to go before 1 by 1. What is a high value man?
We can't have an argument if I don't even know what your definition
point is. The very fact that you're even asking this in the first place is the actual point of the fucking tweet. Okay?
What? Okay, so if the point of them asking you what a high value man is the point of the tweet you put out, Rolo, so does that mean that the tweet you're putting out there was explaining what a high value man was? So if that tweet is what an explanation of what a high value man or what a man needs to do to become high value in the fastest way, according to you, then wouldn't you consider that as an advice? So what point exactly are you trying to prove? The fact that you're dumb? The fact that you got caught up and now you're trying to pretend that you didn't get caught up, but you did because that was advice. Okay, them asking you a question about what a high value man is so we can get to a proper argument is not them. It's not the point of your tweet, Rolo. You're just pretending it's the point of your tweet. It's not the point of your tweet. And if you're going with that argument, it means that you were wrong because then your point of your tweet makes it look like an advice. But you just said in the same breath that you weren't giving out advice. So which one is it, you dumb fuck? See, that's what I'm saying. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. I have to be really, really harsh on Rolo because he's been doing this for decades. For decades, he's proclaimed to be the king of this space, right? The red pill godfather. And he can't even sit here and tell you what a... he can't sit there and tell you. He doesn't even know what a high value man is. So what the fuck's the point? Your credibility is done. Thomas Walker, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. He says the red pill is dead. Rollo was emotional. Duke, yes, it's dead. It's gone. The red pill's done. Like, what you're gonna start seeing now is that Rollo Tomasi, guys like Rollo, and some of these other leaders that don't want it to die, what they're gonna be doing is like they're gonna be saying, "Well, I knew a lot of these grifters are gonna come in here and ruin it." Yeah, these grifters ruined the red pill, okay? It wasn't me. It was the grifters, all right? Hey, Adam Sosnick, okay? The Whatever podcast, okay? All those guys, they came in and they grifted off the space. That's what it is. I told y'all it was going to happen. Now we need to rebuild the red pill space to something more inclusive, or not inclusive, exclusive, where we don't let anybody in. That's the next step. He's going to try to lock down whatever is left of his space and try to figure out how to legitimize it somehow. But what's going to end up happening is people are going to be leaving in droves. All right? Fresh and Fit just ruined their careers on just defending you alone, Rollo. And you were supposed to be their mentor. You see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody is surpassing you, Rollo, because you don't help anybody. You just destroy careers. You need help. You need Fresh and Fit more than they need you. I guarantee you, if Fresh and Fit was on the Sneako and Destiny train against you, it would have bolstered their credibility over yours. And now they're sitting here watching the backlash because their buddy Andrew Tate, because Andrew Tate, he's a big draw. Andrew Tate's gone. He's saying, fuck y'all, the red pill's a bunch of autistic idiots. He's talking about you, Rollo. You destroyed your own baby. Dev, shout to you, the rational cope. That's what he's doing right now. He's coping hard, bro. He's coping so hard, it's not even funny.
Okay, so if you're going to be a high value man with the fucking hands tied behind your back, then what is that? What does that mean to you? That's the point. This whole discussion is the point of the fucking tweet. You guys?
One of the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high value man. Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it. And now you've gotten blown the fuck up on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is fucking retarded. But you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn to walk back from it because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first place.
How old are you, bro?
Douche nozzles. Y'all don't understand because you're a douche nozzle. What is that even? Was that what you were called in high school when people were picking on you, Rollo? A douche nozzle? Because every time I try to figure out what a douche nozzle is, I picture your face. Your face looks like a douche nozzle. Like, think about it. Your facial hair that's gray doesn't match your fucking polished, shoe polished fucking hair that you have back here that you call a ponytail. All right, you're obviously using hair dye back here because it doesn't match. You're pretending to be young. That's a douche nozzle. You probably have a Corvette, right? You got probably one of those old Corvettes, probably like a C3 or a C7 or whatever it is, right? They call those models, right? It's a 2007. It's probably bright yellow. And every time you pull up to the gas station, you and these other douche nozzles in high-waisted khaki shorts sit there and talk about how great your Corvettes are and how horrible women are. That's what I picture a bunch of middle-aged people are doing, bro. They walk around Rollo, because I don't know what a douche nozzle is. When I close my eyes, I see Rollo. I just see Rollo. So what's a douche nozzle?
Douche nozzles?
Yes. You guys are idiots. Why you guys come in here from Twitch stream? Like, how you guys are legitimate in all of this? I don't know, because everything I've heard come out of you guys' mouth is just confident ignorance. That's
No, Myron. Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the godfather of the red pill.
You call myself the godfather of the manosphere, okay? Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's very...
You notice how they called him the godfather of the red pill. And he was like, you see how he responded? No, they called me the godfather of the manosphere. You see that? Because the red pill is a subsection of the manosphere as a whole. The manosphere is bigger than the red pill. You understand? Right? Because the manosphere encompasses every different pill in the book. There's black pill, blue pill, purple pill, red pill, all these different pills. Y'all need to stop popping these pills because you're overdosing right now. So cut it. Cut it with the pills. But too many goddamn pills. But you see how he quickly responded, right? As he's trying to be dismissive. He's saying, no, I'm the godfather of the manosphere, not the red pill. Watch this. Let me just roll
you understand?
Okay.
So you're only confirming what they're saying, Rolo. You're only confirming what they're saying, and your ego just couldn't just let you just be the godfather of the red pill. Your ego couldn't let you just let them get away with you being the godfather of the red pill. No. You had to put in, they called me the godfather of the manosphere. That's bigger than the red pill, okay? I'm bigger than this. Nah, bruh. Kevin Samuels was a godfather of the manosphere, if anything else, believe it or not, right? And most people got problems with Kevin Samuels, so a lot of people did. Minister Jap, even Obsidian had problems with Kevin Samuels. They all had problems with Kevin Samuels, but one thing you couldn't deny, he was the godfather of the manosphere. Rolo, you just a red pillar, a little old red pillar. But watch the switch up, yo. Watch the switch up.
You guys are legitimate in all of this. I don't know, because everything I've heard come out of you guys' mouth is just confident ignorance.
I'm asking no, Myron. Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the godfather of the red pill. You call
myself the godfather of the manosphere.
The red pill. You call yourself the godfather of the red pill. You
call myself the godfather of the manosphere.
The red pill. You
call myself the godfather of the manosphere. Okay. Other people have called me that.
No, Myron. Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the godfather of the red pill. You
call myself the godfather of the manosphere. Okay.
You call yourself the godfather of the red pill. I don't call myself the godfather of the manosphere. Get it right. It's not the red pill. It's the manosphere, okay? The manosphere is bigger than the red pill. I'm Rolo. I told you, he gave himself that nickname. Nobody called him the godfather of the manosphere. You did that to yourself. It's like that one guy who's always trying to be with the cool kids. So, like, you know how everybody gets a nickname because it's based on who they are and what they do. So somebody gives you a nickname, right? Rollo Tomasi was different. It was different for him. Nobody cared enough about him to give him a nickname. He probably didn't even have friends when he was younger, okay? I'd believe it, because this douche nozzle, I mean, who wants to be friends with that guy? I mean, come on. So he's like, no one wants to make... I wrote all these books, and I wrote all these courses and stuff like that. If anything, I gave birth to the space. I'm the godfather. Bruh, you named yourself that, and people just started calling you that. That's just what it is. Stop lying. We know the truth, all right? Let me get back to regular speed. But I just thought that, like, 'cause I actually missed this the first time I reacted to this. I'm like, yo, when I was listening to it again, I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, that's totally right. Robo is just sitting there trying to correct them. Even though that little ego just can't let these people get away with just labeling him the godfather of the red pill, because the godfather of the red pill is just a subsegment of the manosphere. Okay, the manosphere is bigger than the red pill, so his ego had to just chime in and say, I didn't call myself the godfather of the manosphere. Get it right. It's the manosphere, not the red pill. Hey, Francois, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. He says, douche nozzle sounds like a German slur. You know what? You're probably right. Yeah, douche nozzle, like, is it Wiener Schnitzels? It's Wiener Schnitzels, right? I don't know, bro. I'm not German. But yeah, it does sound sus.
Okay. Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's very...
Do you understand?
Okay. So as
godfather or grandfather of the man? Which one is it?
Whatever it is, the old guy of the manosphere. What is your definition of high value man? This is the #1 talked about topic on all of these shows. So I want to get a clear definition from you. What is it?
You tell again. It depends on the person. It depends on the culture. Depends on the. So here's the thing. Let me tell you. Maybe I can explain this to you, Sneako, because at least you got your ears open here. The thing is that when we're talking about what's the top G, what's a high value guy, you probably haven't heard this because you don't read my stuff and you don't watch my shit. No. But I've also said this is like.
You can't say that. You're not dealing with average people over here. Hey, listen, maybe the people who you sell your books to probably don't read your shit. I would actually wager 45% of the people that buy your books don't actually read the whole thing through and through. I mean, they're actually, even in the second book, the prescriptive medicine, when you get to page, hold up, after chapter 4, and that's on page 89, Like realistically, it starts to dry out. Let me read you this. Here's even though the beta is aware his children are now his wife's true priority, his blue pill conditioning still predisposes him to sacrifice. Again, he meets with the ready-made social conventions that shame his discontent. Is sex all that important to you? He says in quotation, or she says in quotation marks. It shouldn't be, because it's really what's on the inside that counts. Another quotation marks. But he can't shake the feeling he's slipping out of her respect. Uh-oh. This is starting to draw on. I'm falling asleep already. This is when the beta dad doubles down. His blue pill expectations of himself require an all-consuming, self-sacrificing predisposition. The horse will work harder. His wife may have lost respect for him at this point, but his sense of honor and duty press him on. He doesn't want to be like his own oppressive or non-present father. He wants to be out-support his father, Ghost, or what he believes other guys would do when their marriages get tough. So he waits it out. But she turned on him at this point. It wasn't planned. All of his martyr-like determination only makes her that much more resentful for having settled with this beta. After a certain stressing point, her disinterest or indignation goes even beyond his capacity to stay committed to a losing investment. These are the guys who tell me, damn, Rolo, where were you when I was 30? I wish I'd known then what I know now. I'm reading this and I'm like, who is this retard? Oh, Rolo. Oh, my wife is falling out of love for me. I'm afraid I'm a blue-pilled beta. Where were you when I was 30? Shut up. We read your shit. You're an idiot. You fuck Tate. No, I'm sorry. You douche nozzle. And plus, a lot of his shit, the more you read it, it starts to kind of come off plagiarized. I don't know where I felt like I've heard a lot of this stuff before. And maybe I got to do some more research. Not on this, but I have to look at where a lot of these similarities come from, because I'm starting to realize the more I read this shit, you plagiarize, bruh. You're not even original in your own books. This came from somewhere, I can tell. Like, you're not original, bruh. I'm gonna have to research where he plagiarizes from. I gotta look at some old school blogs, but this guy's not original. You guys haven't. Hey, I'm doing them a favor. They don't need to read your shit, bruh. It's a headache.
The red pill has to be for everybody, or it's for nobody. So if we're looking at a guy who's draped across a Lamborghini and he's got hot chicks with him, and we say that's what I'm aspiring to, but I'll never make that because I live in a fishing village on the coast of Chile, right? That means I can never match that high apex of a high value guy.
The guy in the car?
But the guy who happens to live in those villages or happens to be in a different culture or in a different country or whatever else, he can still benefit from that because however he's defining himself as a high value man in his fishing village, maybe that's what he can aspire to.
This has nothing to do with Chile and the village in the car.
Here's the thing is you guys want me to say, okay, a high value man makes $100,000 a year. He's fucked 50 chicks. He's got like that's the thing.
That's not what I want you to say. I disagree with that. I'm asking you because I come on this all the time.
Disagree with it. What I'm saying is the point of the tweet is so you will ask that question.
I'm past the tweet. I'm past that. Look, I'm asking as somebody who's really interested in the red pill. I listen to a lot of this content. I want to know what your definition is, because if you have a definition that's completely off of what I think it is, then I guess I'm not red pill.
Well, here's what I think guys ought to do. Would you like me to give you some prescriptions? Is that what we're trying for here?
No, I want to know your opinion of a high value man. What is it?
I think a high value man is whatever is contextually makes that guy a high value guy in whatever culture that he happens to be in. If that's money, that's money. Right now, that's what we tend to focus on right now. But if I'm going to say that,
value man is a guy that has the things that makes him a high value man.
All right. The things that make you a high value man. Okay, what is that? You know, we've been trying to.
Six.
We're
Okay.
never going to define it.
We just kind of because here's the thing. When I read the tweet, I interpreted it right with a higher step. Like he's listing things that if you follow these things right and you actually follow them, you're probably not going to become a right. And to be a high value guy, I would say it's a combination of things. It's obviously having your money on point, having social proof and status, having respect from your peers, having a network of other high value men, right? Which I agree with Kevin Samuels on that. Being fit to a degree. If you have all these things in place, you'll be considered a high value man by most people in most societies, right? If you have these things in place. Now, with that said, to get there, right, you obviously have to focus and get your shit together and make sure that you focus on getting there. What he's saying is all these, the list of things that he mentioned, if you follow them, it's going to mitigate your risk of becoming a fuck up and not getting to that point as quickly as possible. And I think that's so important is that this tweet kind of gets taken out of context. He's saying the quickest way to become a high value man, avoid and do these things because you're limiting distractions. And he's using Brandon Carter as an example where he's in a monogamous relationship with a girl. He outsourced a lot of his things. Why? So he's able to focus on making more money. He's getting rid of obstacles. And I think that tweet demonstrates that we're getting rid of obstacles.
Oh my God, Myron, you have never made yourself look more like an idiot in your life. Mr. G1804, shout out to you, says Alan Roger Curry claimed he copied his work. I won't be surprised. I gotta start, somebody else said something, I gotta start doing some research, because a lot of this stuff, it seems to plagiarize, all right? For the guy who doesn't give out rules, I got another one. Y'all gonna get a kick out of Iron Rule of Tomasi 9. I'm sorry, this is your shit, bro. All right, let me see. What does that say? Iron Rule of Tomasi number 9. Let's go ahead and read it to see if this makes any goddamn sense to y'all. All right. Never self-deprecate under any circumstances. This is the kiss of death that you self-initiate, and it is the antithesis of the prize mentality. Once you've accepted yourself and presented yourself as a complete douche, I'm not kidding. It says that. It says that right there. Right there. I'm not joking. This guy's a loser. I'm sorry. There's no going back to confidence. Okay? Remember, once you present yourself as a complete douche, you can't be confident anymore. Confident, I'm sorry. There's never going back to being confident with a woman. Never appeal to a woman's sympathies. Her sympathies are given by her own volition. Never when they are begged for. Women despise the obligation of sympathy. Nothing kills arousal than pity. Women, even if you don't seriously consider yourself pathetic, it never serves you your best interest to paint yourself as pathetic. Self-deprecating or self-deprecation is a misguided tool for the AFC. This is an acronym for something else. I got to go back to the front page. He says, and not something that would even occur in the alpha mindset. Oh, so those of you guys who are comedians, don't self-deprecate. So those of you guys who are actually good at having conversations, don't self-deprecate, because according to him, any form of at least laughing at yourself dries up a woman's box. No, Rolo, taking yourselves too seriously makes you look like a bozo, okay? Just like right now in your little stream, okay? You look like a bozo, champ. I mean, I don't know what to say, all right? That's you. You're a clown. Self-deprecation is easy as long as it's actually a good thing. It actually makes people easier to be around you because they don't look at you as some guy who's acting like they're stuck up. All right, what self-deprecation does is it allows you to come to be relatable, down to earth. All right, this guy doesn't think too highly of himself, and girls love that. Girls love guys who are cool and they know they're cool but don't think too highly of themselves. So they're able to laugh at themselves every once in a while. I mean, look at the guy who's trying to be the discount fresh and fit. Dude kicked the girl out of his studio because she called him a 2. Nigga, I would have made a joke about it. Maybe your 2 would have went to a 5. But now you are 2 going to a 0 because you acted like a douche nozzle. I like that word now. That's my shit. I'm taking your shit, bro. But I'm serious. Learn to laugh at yourself. A lot of y'all taking yourself too seriously, you look like clowns. Okay, no girl. That's why you guys are box repellent. No girl wants to touch you because you take yourself too seriously, and plus it overinflates your ego. So you need to watch it. But this guy, all right, this is this is an incel manual. All right, hey, periodically I'm probably just gonna be listed off for any random role. Tomasi Iron Rule. because he has to pretend that he doesn't give out rules or he doesn't give out advice, but over here writing rules in his own book. Shame on you, Rolo. You're lying.
So you can become a high value man in the quickest possible way. Now, I know the most controversial one is the vasectomy. Though there's other ways to get the same, I guess, effect from vasectomy. Let's say you use a condom. Let's say you pull out, whatever it may be. He's saying, okay, if you get the vasectomy, then we know for a fact you're not going to have children.
Yeah.
It's really no different than having a condom or pulling out or whatever it may be. The point is to not get a girl pregnant. How you want to get there is up to you, whether it's through a vasectomy, using condoms, whatever. But he's making it retard proof. Hey, vasectomy, because I know even if you are the dumbest guy ever, you can't fuck this up.
I don't think a retarded guy could be a high value guy.
No, when I say retarded, I mean as in stupid. But what I'm saying is that the point I'm trying to make is this list is the foolproof way, if everything is followed, for you to get your status up as quickly as possible in your 20s.
That's not what the list is, though. Because what you just said was advice, and he said it's clearly not advice. So you're interpreting it different.
He said he's joking, and he's trying to provoke
joking,
people.
like half it was just for jokes.
But I'm telling you, I started out telling you guys how I interpreted that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
You're not wrong.
Right here.
You're not wrong.
So that people can interpret it how they want.
Exactly.
To create discussion. That's the point.
And it's funny.
That's what he's saying.
He asked a question earlier. So you asked him a question. What is high value? You answered it. It's whatever you determine that to be.
No, that's bullshit. None of you guys believe that. If some guy comes on this show and he weighs 350 pounds and he says, I'm Diamond 1 in League of Legends. That's what I want to do with my life. Would you go, well, that's what you really want. You're high value. You wouldn't say that.
No, but once again, it starts in the mind. You're going to say, for example, oh, that's not true, which I agree it's not true. But ultimately, you as a man decide what's high value for you.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Value is probably something that's determined by society. High value means that you have a worth to other people.
Fresh is so stupid. Like, what is wrong with Fresh, bro? Like, how can you, in the right mind, just go with this? Like, this is crazy, bro.
You're just talking about being comfortable, having high self-esteem.
I agree, but the tweet...
You don't say you agree with me. I just said the total opposite thing you just said.
No. I agree at that point where, for example, people determine you as high value. However, the tweet saying high value could mean, in your sense, whatever that means to you.
No, it doesn't.
What?
That's what he's saying.
No, he's not. He doesn't know because he doesn't have a good definition. Because he knows if he says anything, he's going to get pinned
You sound
down
like
on
the
it.
girls who believe they're a 10 because they describe themselves as a 10 in the mirror.
If you brought
That's
in
the
some
same
loser
argument.
the point.
and he's like, I'm high value because I'm a manager at my McDonald's, you probably wouldn't agree that he's high value.
Is that when he says high value, you're going to determine that as a man. What does that mean for you? Success is a part of it, yes, but their success could be owning a farm or having a business. It doesn't matter. He's saying to get to that point, you need focus. Ultimately, that's what he's saying. Just be focused.
I mean, look, we make fun of the girls all the time for saying that they're 10 out of 10s. All the time because they say it in their head, I believe I'm a 10 out of 10. No, that's ridiculous because society determines how attractive you are. Society determines how valuable you are. You can't apply that a lot. You can't make fun of the girl, the ugly fat whale who thinks she's a 10 girl boss queen, and then also say a high value man can believe it in his head.
Well, I gave you guys a 10.
You have a good definition. You talked about some shit, being relatively fit, having a network of people that are very social. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that sounds like
I do, because here's the thing. For me, I will define it because that will allow you guys to see where I'm coming from when I'm interpreting that.
Yeah, we know where you're coming from, but we have the tweet out there. He doesn't know where he's coming from. He seems a little lost right now, so we're trying to figure out, what exactly he means. But
I think, again, the tweet, I think that's the important part of the tweet is that it allows people to interpret it how they want, and which is why we're talking about it right now. The tweet did what it was supposed to do. Why would you? If I'm giving advice to people, I don't want them to interpret it how they want. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point of my message? If I'm telling
giving advice to people, that's the whole point of this.
Bro, it is advice. You're just mad because you're getting called out.
Do you want? It's impossible to put anything out there without people interpreting it as follow these steps. Here's your 12 rules for life, and you're going to live a happy
rules for being a high value man. That's literally what your tweet was. Do these things. High value. What is the wording of the tweet? Go back to the tweet itself.
Back to the wording of the tweet. So in that wording of the tweet, what's the last part of that? What's the last one? Resist easing up on your focus. Whatever's like, do you want me to insert what you ought to be doing? You ought to be coding. Is that what I should say? You ought to be becoming a professional athlete. I don't know what you're fucking.
That's what I did. I learned to code, and I'm teaching other people to learn how to code, and other people I recommend learning how to code. The future is going to be completely cyber. The future is cyber. You want to talk about jobs? You learn to code. I don't care what anybody else is telling you. Rolo's not going to give you that advice, but you're not going to be high value if you're not getting into tech right now. So I did it. I think anybody else could did it. All right. And listen, it just is what it is. People can look at me and say, "Oh my God, you're just so unassuming," right? It don't matter as long as you can learn. You're willing to make it happen. So you should be teaching that rather than telling men to go ahead and get vasectomies. Maybe they should be learning how to code. Maybe redirect a lot of that sexual energy to concentrate on redundant, minute tasks every once in a while. I think it'd be healthy sometimes.
Strengths are.
You can simplify and say work hard.
Again, so here's the thing. If I say, you know what, you ought to be an NBA player, and it doesn't matter if that you're 5'9", fucking stay on your focus, and you're going to be the best NBA player you can possibly be.
No, that'd be terrible advice.
That would be absolutely terrible advice because this is advice. That's why. Okay, this is a list that is meant to get so you get an idea of what the fuck it is that you're going to do so that you can become that high value man. Protect yourself. Don't get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy. Again, this is over the top shit.
Yeah, I like to read you from the book of preventative medicine, okay? For those of you guys who have the book, please follow along with me for, this is going to be page 106, okay? We are going to be reading the Iron Rule of Roa Tomasi number 6. Women are utterly incapable of loving a man in the way a man expects to be loved. In its simplicity, this speaks volumes about the conditions of men. I accurately express a perversive nihilism that men must either confront and accept or be driven insane in denial for the rest of their lives when they fail to come to terms with this disillusionment. Women are incapable of loving a man in a way that a man idealizes as possible, in a way he thinks she should be capable of. Huh? I'm reading this and I'm like, buddy, you're in a 27-year-long marriage. You're in a 27-year-long marriage. How can you say this? Is your wife not touching you at night? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Does your wifey not touch you? What is Iron Rule number 6? I love this rule. This is my favorite rule because it exposes how much of an idiot this guy is. All right? How is this preventative medicine and you're sitting here preaching bullshit? You're in a 27-year-long relationship. And you're sitting there telling me a woman has never loved you. This man is in a sexless marriage. You're in a sexless marriage, bro. That's what it tells me. Your wife isn't touching you, so you come up here on Fresh and Fit so these other girls can give you attention. Meanwhile, you're over here writing iron rules. This guy says he doesn't give out advice. Can somebody write down in the chat what this says? This says iron rule. A rule. What is the definition of a rule? Could somebody please write that in the chat? Because he thinks we're stupid. He says we don't read his book. He doesn't give out advice. It's just prescribing shit. But here's a fucking rule. You think we're stupid? You fucking bozo. Oh my God, I'm going to clown you all day. I'm having fun with this, Rolo. I am having so much fun with this. Let's continue.
Anybody who knows anything about my material, when I throw this out there, they know this is over the top shit.
What else on that
list? The fucking fire for douche nozzles like Ben Shapiro.
I don't want to be a douche nozzle, but what else?
Yeah, besides number 3, what else here is over the top?
Besides vasectomy.
Well, live consistently, okay? Well, what if, some people will say, well, that's vanity, right?
There's no way you agree with that, saying live consistently.
Hold on. For Rolo, it might be. Okay, to be fair.
Guys, see, here's the thing.
But you're missing, are you not hearing anything he's saying? Do you need to blindly agree with him? Because nothing he's saying is making any sense.
Bro,
it's not making any sense to you because you don't understand.
Oh, yeah, we don't get it. We're so dumb.
We don't understand Did you understand what I was saying about Brandon Carter?
Yeah, he doesn't do his laundry.
No, but he's taken everything to this extreme level. It's like to a lot of guys, Brandon Carter's not okay, would you agree with me that Brandon Carter is a high-value guy?
Sure.
Okay, you know who wouldn't? Ben Shapiro. You know who wouldn't? A lot of other people because they think that they're living out their own high-value ideal. Do you understand that?
Context.
Like the 350-pound esports player is living out his ideal of a high-value man.
Yeah, whether or not that's working for him is irrelevant to the tweet. When I say, okay, when I'm talking about Brandon Carter, you say you understand that. He's taking it to like this extreme level.
How is Ben Shapiro not a high value guy?
Like stay on top of it. Like for Brandon Carter, what do you think Brandon Carter's definition of a high value man is?
Probably the same as mine.
Which is
determined by society. If you have respect from your community, then you are a high value person. If people respect you.
So being pro-social and having people like you and depending on the,
I know you don't agree with him because he's Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro is definitely a high value man.
Okay, but so let's just say let's say
he does. He said so.
You don't think Ben Shapiro's a high value man?
Let's take do I think he is? I don't think he's a high value man.
But,
Wait, what is his definition? He owns his own business. It's like one of the most successful alt media platforms in the world. He's married his fucking young sweetheart.
Right. You know who else is not a high value guy? Elon Musk. Let's see. Who else? Jeff Bezos. All you got to do is just all you have to do is look at the decisions they've made in their personal lives. Okay. How are we going to define that? If I'm going to define that,
you haven't. You're the only one who hasn't defined it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the one defining it for fucking Jeff Bezos. I'm not the one defining it for fucking what's his face? Ben Shapiro.
Whale can think she's a 10 as long as that's how she defines beauty to herself.
Well, you guys just defined. You guys. Well, hold on. Wait.
Listen. The fact this is where your credibility dies, bro. You don't understand it. This is where your credibility went down the drain. The fact that you're looking at guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the guys who would have more connections, more money, more wealth, and more access to women that you'll ever see, Rolo. I mean, Rolo, the only access to women you get is on Fresh and Fit podcast. Let's just be real. But the guys who see the most out of that are literally the ones you're saying they're not high value. So what does that make you? I read to you from page 50 of the Rational Male Preventative Medicine, okay? This is about the party years between women between age 20 and 25, okay? Let me read this. It may be hard to believe, but it's often easier to bed a very young woman and then an older man or than an older woman. Okay, he said it's very hard to believe, but it's often easier to bed a very young woman than an older woman. If you are an older man, this is because 20 to 40% of women are specifically attracted to older men. It is hardwired in them. And this hardwiring can be reinforced by poor family upbringing, resulting from a divorced parent or absentee fathers. Single moms are the greatest source of future generation of slutty daughters in the world has ever known. Hey, bro. Hey, you're older, man. Why did you marry a woman older than you? Are you getting? Is that why you dyed your hair? Huh? So you can get all these young 20-something years old? Does your wife know about this? Does your wife know what's in your book? I think this is like fantasies of an old man. Look at this. During the party years, hypergamy is firmly rooted in the physical attraction, short-term mating cues. However, it's during this time women develop an appreciation for the personality cues of the confident and alpha character as it relates to her long-term investments. So what were you when your wife decided to settle down with you? It sounds like you're the beta. She married you for 27 years. You're not the strong, confident alpha she's promoting. You're a clown. Like, all of this is just bullshit, bro. Like, I can't believe people take you seriously. Ace, the Ace does stuff. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, Rolo is more like rolled over because he keeps taking L's. Also, fellow techies, I work with mostly hardware. Oh, shout out to you. Are you desktop? Let me know if you're desktop, dude. Like, that's what's up, bro. Like, for real. Listen. Tech is very, 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 like, I wouldn't say there's so much topics not topics, but areas that you can get into. All right, you can get into cyber, you can get into desktop, you can get into app and web development. You can get into there's so many things you can get into, bro. You can even cloud computing is a new thing now that's taken over. All right, like when I talk about Amazon, AWS, that's cloud stuff. Azure, Microsoft, that's all cloud stuff. So you learn how to be. Like, you can get into DevOps, or you can. There's so many. Listen, bro. Listen. These guys are. He's the same one that says Jeff Bezos isn't a high value man, but yet a lot of people use AWS. So I'm sorry, bro. Like, you're stupid. You don't know anything. But you should be teaching your guys to learn this stuff rather than understanding hypergamies and the intricacies of a woman in her 20s. Like, you're crazy, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Sneako, you just defined Brandon Carter as a high value guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that fits your definition of a high value guy, but I will tell you right now that that would not fit the same definition that, say, Ben Shapiro would have for a high value guy, because he doesn't have his babies on point. He doesn't have this on point. He's not going to church or synagogue every day, right? So to him, he's not necessarily a high value guy.
I don't think what is synagogue has to do with high value. That's like,
because that's the way that other people would define it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
is that true?
it's not, value is not subjective. When we talk about value, we're usually talking about some sort of exchange in a market.
No.
Value is usually what are people willing to do or give for a certain thing. It's not defined by this. If one man is on an island with no other people, there is no value.
No, this one over your head. It's the idea of being high value.
No, there is no idea of being high value. And if it was anybody else on the show, you guys would be roasted the fuck out of them for saying that's your idea of being high value. You would be roasted. If any of the girls come here, because you do this to girls all the time, so it goes right. They're like, I think I'm a 10. It's like, why? Because I'm so special and blah, blah, blah.
I say you're not special.
I just gave you Brandon Carter as an example. I just gave you Brandon Carter. I gave you. We can use any single example you want. You could be the 500-pound guy who just does esports, or it can be like Brandon Carter or the top G. Yep. Any one of those guys. The thing still applies.
All right, look.
Are you better off? Are you better off without the obstructions? Are you better off without the bag?
Everyone here has kind of a different thing. Like me, I've defined it. This is what I think makes you high value. You might have a different take on it. You might have a different take on it. I've defined it, and then I took my interpretation off what you said. If you want to get these things, and it makes sense to me, those things that you listed. But I'm seeing here that everyone here kind of has a different interpretation.
Wait, that's not true. All four of us probably roughly agree on what makes you high value.
No, we don't.
The three of us probably
Ben Shapiro said you said you have high value. I don't think
having like some amount of like physical fitness. We all agree that that's decently valuable, correct?
On some level, yeah.
Okay, having some amount of like social status. So you've got the attention of a lot of people and you're influential. We all agree on that, right? Mm-hmm. Having some amount of financial success, right? You have freedom to take care of your family, retire if you want to, even at an early age. We all agree with that, right?
Okay.
And having some level of success with your family and friends, right? We all roughly agree on that, right?
Okay.
If you have those four things in check, you're probably a high value man.
No, it's more than that. See, here's what he's saying. I can add more to it because for me, in my head, what high value is way more than that. To you, that might be important, but to me, it's not. That's not everything.
What's a key component missing from what I said?
Is a high value guy the guy that marries somebody from a foreign country and brings her over here so she can get citizenship? Because that's your family dynamic. My family dynamic is different than that. Does that make me high value or low value?
Exactly. It's going to depend on the person.
You're a low value man. I'm sorry. Can I go? Y'all want to see? Iron rule of no roll Tomasi number 3. Y'all, there it is. This guy says he doesn't give advice, but here's his iron rules. I love this because you can just tell how much of an incel this guy is, right? He says, any woman who makes you wait for sex or by her actions implies she's making you wait for sex, the sex is never worth the while. When a woman intentionally makes you wait for sex, you are not her highest priority. That's not always the case, dummy. All right. Sometimes women don't like to feel like hoes. All right. And realistically, you over here preaching that guys that there are too many women who are promiscuous out there. And now in your iron rule number 3, if she's actually making a guy wait, she's all of a sudden not worth it. Make sense. Okay. So meaning if she doesn't put out, she's not worth it. If she puts out, she's a hoe. But then all women are hoes. But then you run into one that doesn't put out, but she's not worth it. Makes sense. Make it make sense. Your rules are contradictory. I digress. This guy's a bozo. His royal thugness. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. It says, pen testing is where it's at. Peep my reign of terror on the space when you get a chance. What reign of terror are you talking about? Send me a link, I guess. Email. Shout out to you.
If I'm in a heterosexual marriage for 27 years and not in a polycule or some shit, like it's like some people will say you're high value because you do that. People will say, Rolla, you can't be red pill because you're married, or you can't be married because you're red pill. Okay. And suddenly I'm blue pill because I'm actually in a relationship where it's like close on her end, close on her end, and close on my end. But if I go and I talk to the top G, or I talk to somebody who's like in an open relationship, is that guy high value because of that? This is not a judgment call. I'm just saying that the definition is going to be different. Even if you have all those things, even each one of those things that you just mentioned is still it's still subject to the context. I agree with what you said, Destiny. What I'm saying is that from within each one of those attributes, people are going to have something wildly different. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to use that for blog fodder and topics to go and do quick hit videos on because they just want click through rate for something like that.
What would we say about women? If we say, what is a high value woman?
You tell me, man. It's like, again, this is the definition.
Bro, this is like your wheelhouse. This is your chance to steamroll.
I don't think you understand why wheelhouse is, quite honestly.
No, we understand it quite well. Can I direct you to Iron Rule of Roll Tomasi number 5? Okay, this is where you start to understand where the birth control shit comes from. All right, Iron Rule of Roll Tomasi number 5: never allow a woman to be in control of the birth. All right, this guy has been preaching vasectomies for a long time. We just ain't caught it yet. He's been a pro advocate of that, right? Women have 41 different types of contraception available for women. For men, there are only 2: vasectomy or a condom. Look at that. That's right there. Vasectomy or condom. Your only line of defense against her is choice. The only thing separating a man from a lifetime, not just 18 years of interacting with a decider of altering the course of his life, is a thin layer of latex. Always have protection, right? Obviously, right? But listen, if you read through this stuff, this guy's been telling you what his agenda is for a very long time. For a very, very long time. All right? That's why you guys are acting like you're surprised that he said, "Oh, vasectomies." He's been saying this since the Iron Rule number 5. Listen to this. All right, vasectomies or condoms. That's why I'm not surprised. This guy's a bozo.
I don't think you do.
Red pill shit. Isn't that what you do?
Your
so you
name
should
is
know
the
like
rational male.
Yeah, a high value woman is.
I don't talk about high value women, dude. In fact, if anything, I say there's no such thing as a quality woman because it's an ideal that guys have in their
women
heads.
aren't quality.
There's no such thing as a quality woman.
No such thing as a quality woman because guys have this. The quality woman is an ideal, but we can talk about that when I get there. But the thing is like when you're building a relationship or when you have this idea in your head, you want to know why guys get into so much fucking trouble in their marriages? It's because of that ideal. Because every guy who ever got married thought that she was the best fucking thing in the world. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got married to her. And then until he gets across the divorce table from her, now she's a fucking evil monster.
That's one whenever. You genuinely don't think that there's quality women in the world?
I think that there are women who have different attributes than others that match very well with guys. Sure, there are good clicks, of course. But the thing is like the idea of the quality woman is an ideal that guys have that gets them into a lot of trouble. That's why they're in love with the ideal, not the actual person.
There are high value men, but there aren't high value women.
I'm not saying that I said there aren't high value men and there aren't high value women. Okay, it just depends on who we're talking about.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about, bro.
I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
I get what he's saying, but
I feel like I need to do mushrooms before I come on the show. That's what it feels like. The kind of conversation we're having right now.
No. You know what it is, Destiny? Is you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Any of this, and I'm surprised because you write about this all the time. You wrote a whole book about it. People they really respect it, and I have no idea.
You guys might be confused because I'm the one that says there's no such thing as a high value woman. A woman that's a woman gets her value directly from a man that she gets in a relationship with, because all women have value, but not all men have value.
All women don't have the same value.
Well,
don't even think about it. You know that's not true. If I give you a woman with 100 bodies and a woman with 0 bodies, if I give you one that's 500 pounds, if I give you one with 5 kids,
here's my thing. Okay, here's my thing, because I've said this before.
I know men must become and women are. I know you're about to do that speech. But I'm just saying there are some women that are better than others.
I wasn't going to say that. Of course. But all women have value to some level, but not all men have value because men have to build their shit up. So what I'm saying is that a high value woman
not even true.
A high value woman gets her value from being with a high value man.
I don't even think that's true. All men have value to some extent.
The metric of success for a female is being able to get the best man that they can get.
And men can build and do things. In places like China, where you're limited to the amount of children, what do? They opt for boys. Because they can go out and work and fucking get jobs and shit and do things around the fucking house or whatever, right?
Yeah, the fucking 1980s. The one child policy hasn't been around since the mid 90s, dude.
Sure, but when it was grossly favoring the birth of boys because you could do more with boys than you could with women. Just the idea that like
that was a perception until now they're facing the consequences of that.
True. Well, so is Japan. That's a super homogenous.
That's one situation. Okay, you're using China, but let's be honest here. Why does it say women and children off the boat first, not men?
What are you talking about? Because women and children off the boat first. They are the vulnerable people. It is what it is. Children are vulnerable, and arguably women are vulnerable. That's why it's disgusting when we see y'all screaming at them, because biologically speaking, we're wired to see them as that. They carry the next generation, bro. You have to protect that no matter what. The children literally are the next generation. So when we're talking to guys like Rolo, who doesn't even think that men should have children or face families, and they want to sit there and say, let's get not abortions, vasectomies, that goes against you, whatever the fuck you're saying, Myron. You guys look like clowns. But anyways, I'm done with this. Let's actually go to the aftermath. Andrew Tate is officially done with these bozos, and he thinks they're all autistic spurgs. I don't blame him, because you looked at how Rolo reacted in this stream. It was just horrible. But I'm glad we played the context for you. Let's go ahead and play the rest.
Calling the red pill retarded or autistic, and
let's read the Andrew Tate's tweet real quick. All right, this is Tristan Tate's tweet. Please don't refer to me as red pill. Those people are autistic. Also, as a half-black man descended from slave, I find your choice of example very poor taste. I don't need white people even loosely liking me to apartheid politicians who want to lynch blacks. Thanks. Whoa! Is it that bad? You got the Tate brothers claiming their own blackhood now? They say, hey, listen, bro, we ain't with that racist shit. I don't know what these red pill dudes are doing. We ain't with that, bro. Don't call us red pill. Hey, we ain't for lynching blacks. We blacks ourselves, okay? I know we don't look like it with my nice curly or nice straight hair and my English pristine accent, okay? Yeah, we're not black. My ancestors were lynched, okay? We were lynched, all right? I gotta reclaim my blackhood. I told you, a lot of these red pill dudes are like, and people who follow these red pillars, some of these black pillars too, bro. There's some undercover racists. They don't play, bro. There's some undercover racists. You go to these MGTOW forums. I'm not talking about on YouTube. I'm talking about go to a real MGTOW forum, bro. Those people don't like blacks. They are racist as fuck. That's why I don't like a lot of people who promote red pill. I don't like them. I generally think they have some racist undertones with it. That's why this red pill shit attracts a lot of some of these more politically inclined who are on the far right. And Tristan knows that now. I don't know if Tristan and Andrew Tate just popped a red pill, but this is what we've been saying. These are racist freaking ideologies. These people don't even like race mixing. They would hate guys like Andrew Tate. So now they're feeling it. Hey, don't classify me in your bullshit, bro. We not red pill. We no longer red pill. Stop it. We no longer red pill. It's over. The red pill's done. Finito. Gone.
don't want to be associated with that. And then even seeing Sneako's completely shift on a lot of the ideas the red pillar's been saying. Do you feel like, and then Rolo having his collapse, do you feel like the red pill's losing a lot of its steam?
Well, I said that a while ago that I felt like it was, but I feel like I might have been wrong. But now I feel like I'm gonna end up being right for reasons I shouldn't have been. I've been doing a ton of... Dude, I've just been dying all day in this fucking game. I've been doing other shit, so I haven't even gotten to research it. What was the last thing we looked up on stream? What happened? I feel like we were doing something here 2 or 3 days ago, but I don't even remember. Oh, I was just coming back from that fresh and fit stuff. Oh, watching Rolo literally self-destruct on the internet. Holy shit.
Had to be stupid as fuck. What a goober. What a goober.
What was he thinking? I'm so confused.
Nah, you know what's most telling about that whole conversation? How hard Fresh and Fit were sucking him off. That was crazy.
I think that's probably
At
the time.
one point, Fresh said something that almost killed me. He went, "Why are you guys being so mean?" I said, "Kill yourself."
You guys are so mean, man.
Yeah,
Look at all
Bro, I didn't even say. What do you mean we're mean? He called us douche nozzles. Oh, it's fine. He's the grand wizard of red pill, so I can't go say anything about that. But I'm mean now because I'm calling him irrational for not having any arguments at all.
Kill yourself right now. You can just jump off the highest building in Miami. Kill yourself. You guys have never given a shit about being mean to these whores that you bring on your podcast.
That's
And
why I
all
kind
of
of
a
like.
sudden, it's a 55-year-old white man yelling, what did he call you guys?
Oh wait, douche nozzles.
Okay. and all of a sudden you guys, bro, kill yourself. That's why these dudes, they're gonna have the craziest energy for ladies, but if it's a dude, all of a sudden they turn to bitches, bro.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I couldn't believe he said that. Why are you being so mean? Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I think I was like, it's very hard. I have to try to keep like my emotions in check so I'm not like losing my mind. But I was so triggered because I watched him do the whatever podcast, and then I've watched these guys like and how they like run through verbally, not but like how they like will run through all these girls on these programs like screaming and shouting at him, and then when I finally get this guy in front of me, like he falls apart instantly, and it's like the most pathetic display I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, is this is what you guys do? Like you just shit on like women that aren't ready to debate you all day long, and then as soon as like somebody even mildly competent comes on, because it's not even like we're doing hard topics, right? This is like the easiest shit in the world. What is a high value man? That should be like, you should be able to spit like 20 paragraphs of that for us, and like this is all it takes to like set you off.
Facts. Destiny's right. They didn't do anything wrong in that debate. They just asked Rolo, what is a high value man? For a guy who's been spewing high value this, high value that, this is a toss up. This is an alley-oop, assist, and one all day. But this was the thing that broke you? The fact that you had to define the very thing you've been preaching about in this space for decades. It broke the entire space? You let this break you? I thought it'd be something even way more ridiculous. And honestly, I thought the backlash would come from at least Fresh and Fit. I mean, to be fair, it happened on Fresh and Fit, so I'm kind of right, but I'm not all the way right. What I didn't expect was the backlash coming from Rolo. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. The fact that this bozo couldn't identify what a high value man is, but these guys have built entire industries on YouTube talking about it and shitting on women. But they can't explain the very same thing they're criticizing women for. So let me get this straight. You're asking women to chase for high value men, but y'all yourselves don't even know what that means? I mean, I don't know what else to say. Y'all were stupid. Yes, it's over. Those of you guys just tuning in, go ahead and hit the like button, please, because it's over for the red pill. It's over. All right? We just read Tristan Tate, Andrew Tate, they're done. They're done with this stuff. It's over with, all right? And no more red pill. The day of reckoning has finally arrived, all right? And Rolo, unfortunately, was the guy that brought it on himself.
Trigger me so hard. What a loser.
I will say in his defense, I did look up whether or not he ever talked about it before, and he does repeat the same nonsense every time he's brought up on this topic. So it wasn't like he showed up on that podcast specifically and started fumbling his words. He always says the same retarded shit everywhere else he goes.
Sure, but the issue is that like the problem is that one, he made a list of suggestions for how to become a high value man. So it doesn't make sense that he's saying that like, well, it can be whatever you want it to be if he's telling you specific steps to be that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think he's trying to do the thing where he's both considerate of the fact that people might have different definitions for high value man, and also not realizing that all his advice does lead towards a certain type of high value man. So there's a bit of an incongruence between what he's saying and what he's trying to get at.
Yeah.
Because I understood the idea of it. There is some truth to the idea that high value man has some variations from place to place or from value system to value system. I think he did a poor job of eloquating that. And also he got too harped on that to say like, okay, even though there is some variation, there's still a general consensus for the most part. Well respected within the community, generally higher up on the hierarchy due to either fitness, money, whatever it is. So like, you know, I think there's like ways he could have got that across without sounding so autistic.
Yeah, and that's like, because I was willing to be good faith-ish, but I didn't know that we were going to run into issues that early on. And I disagree, actually. I don't think that's what happened, that he was like trying to be fair in how he defined it. I think what happened to him, and I know this because I've been there before, I think what happened was he made a really retarded tweet and he couldn't get off of it. So he had to like warp his mind in the most retarded way possible to try to make that tweet make sense. So he was like, okay, well, but as soon as he starts saying shit like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and whoever else like aren't high value men, it's like, bro, well, what do you mean? What is a high value man then, right? Like you must have a definition in your head if you're saying these people aren't high value men. But yeah, it was just cringe.
I think that was probably one of the dumbest parts when he said Ben Shapiro was not.
Yeah.
Why? And he said something so strange. He said like, Ben Shapiro basically hounded his wife into submission.
Yeah, he kept saying that he wore her down. He said that like 3 or 4 times. He wore her down over 4 months.
He courted her. Like, you know, Ben Shapiro's story, I actually looked it up. It's kind of wholesome. No homo. He basically just...
Well, we say pause now, but go ahead.
Yeah, I say both. But yeah, when they met, they decided to spend every day after work together. Like hanging out, doing work, not even like going on dates necessarily, but maybe she would be studying for a paper and he'd be writing up an article and they would just spend time together. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of beautiful. Like they really enjoyed each other's company and they were committed. And then after 4 months of spending time together, they decided to get married, which by serious Jewish people is very common. It's not abnormal to accelerate the timeline for a marriage. So why did you get this idea that he hounded her? And you just realize he's working backwards because he hates him.
Yeah, of course.
He's gonna view whatever behavior he engaged in the most negative light.
Facts. I mean, let's just be real, right? A lot of times he doesn't. He has this vitriol for what is it called? Ben Shapiro and the other guy, right? They don't like him. Matt Walsh. They don't like Matt Walsh. They don't like because he's jealous. He's hating on those guys, right? The Ben Shapiro's of the world, the Candace Owens of the world. That's where Rollo wants to be. He wants to be the Jordan Peterson of the manosphere that came out of the manosphere, right? That's what he wants to be known for. But unfortunately, he doesn't realize he's too stupid to be a Jordan Peterson. Like, you can't. You're never going to be Jordan Peterson, Rollo. It's never going to happen. All right? You're not him. You're not him. That's what he's trying to do. And he's jealous of the Mount Washers of the world. He's jealous of the Ben Shapiros. Anyone to get that level of conservative attention, he wants that. Glass Eye, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, nope. Can't find what a high value man is because the audience will realize they never be one. Got to protect the grift and just say whatever you want it to be. That's facts. That's absolutely facts. Because when they start lifting off what high value means to them, listen, not everybody's going to be high value. And if in some kind of, let's say, wishy-washy world that you were to wave your wand and make everybody high value, well, guess what? Congratulations. Now everyone is average. Because if everyone is high value, then nobody's high value. If everybody's making 6 figures, then everyone's average. What are you talking about? And these guys don't realize that. So to protect the grift, they have to sell you cope. There's cope sellers. All right? These are cope hustlers. All right? You just don't get it twisted. They're coping. They want to teach cope. They don't want to teach reality. Who's there? Reality. I know you don't like me, but 2023, you got to get well acquainted because it's the year of vindication, baby. And we told you.
But I'm like, where did you get the idea that he hounded her?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was like wondering. I was like, was there really like some weird improper shit going on, or was this just like a normal kind of like courting relationship where, you know, guy's pursuing girl and then he's, you know, persistent until she finally says yes, which can either be like really creepy or it can be totally fine, but like you need a little bit more context. But the way that he was presenting it basically was trying to make him sound like he was a rapist.
Yeah. How do you considering like even the Tate brothers are calling the red pill retarded or autistic and don't want to be associated with that, and then even seeing Sneako's completely shift on a lot of the ideas the red pillar's been saying, do you feel like, and then Rollo having his collapse, do you feel like the red pill's losing a lot of its steam?
Well, I said that a while ago that I felt like it was, but I feel like I might have been wrong. But now I feel like I'm gonna end up being right for reasons I shouldn't have been, because it feels like that Rollo tweet was actually a bigger deal than I thought it would be. I think because of him defending it, and then other red pillars, namely Fresh and Fit, feeling like they have to defend it, but the tweet being so obviously retarded, right? Like, it's the equivalent of like Rollo like tweeting out like how to be a high value man, step 1, all white people should be able to say the N-word. Like, it's on that level of stupidity.
Speaking of the N-word, y'all not gonna like this one. Y'all not gonna like this one at all.
Of the man with the legend, John Fitch, who's going to tell me how to choke a nigga out. So, and I have the man with the legend, John Fitch, who's going to tell me how to choke a nigga out. So, he's got this.
Even your boy Ryan, even your little butt buddy Ryan is like, holy shit, Rollo, you went there. You actually said the N-word. I'm gonna just play it one more time.
And I have the man, the legend, John Fitch, who's going to tell me how to chuck a nigga out. So
Look at Ryan's face.
he's got this. I know. Yeah. Like I was asking him, like, you remember what was it?
And okay, listen, I get it. Some people are like, well, Duke, he didn't say it with the ER. He said it with the A at the end, okay? I thought there was a difference. I thought there was the difference. I don't care. I don't care. He's not allowed to say it. Rolo is not allowed to say it. Why? Because he'll never be him. You will never be him. That's a joke, but still, no, I don't think, realistically, bro, I think it's cringe when even white people use the ER, because what's the point of reclaiming a horrible word that was used against us to empower ourselves when we're letting the people who are descendants of the people who pretty much enslaved us to be able to reclaim that word too? I don't think, if you're gonna say this is a reclamation for black folks, fine, I'll give you guys that, all right? Because everyone wants the right to say it, but then you can't just give those same rights to the descendants of people who enslaved your ancestors. That's stupid. Okay, so I don't care if it's an A at the end or if it's an ER. All right, if it's an A, they still should be called out for it. But you black folks get to say it. I don't care. I don't. I don't want some smarmy loser like Rolo who smells like somebody's grandma with all the Bengay and ointment oils and shit, right? Wow, I choke a nigga out. Even your buddy Ryan Stone knew that was cringe. If Ryan knew that was cringe, you probably shouldn't have said it, buddy. So, yeah, Destiny, he's known for saying the N-word. He's known for that shit.
And I think that one of the things that it did, and this is something I've talked about for a while, is I don't know if I've had this talk with you, but I've said that, like, if you watch the Tristan videos on like how to pick women up, and if you listen to Andrew Tate talk about how to pick women up, it is very obvious that he knows what he's talking about, that these guys have a lot of experience with women, and they definitely know how to play the game. But if you listen to a lot of red pillars talk about women, they don't. They're just, this is like virgin tips for virgins, like that. Some of this shit about like the juggling all the women and blah blah blah, like it's just cringe as so kind of one of the things that I wonder is if that Rolo tweet was basically kind of like pushing everything over the edge to show that, like, okay, the red pill stuff and the Andrew Tate stuff is not the same. A lot of this red pill stuff is super corny, and now you're going to see a huge schism as people try to like find their bearings of like who do they follow post, you know, Tate collapse, I guess, of not backing the red pill shit up on anymore. And Sneako collapsed too, right? Because he's, love him or hate him, he's still probably like a decently big figure in that space, right?
That's facts. That's absolutely facts. So people are going to be wondering what to do now. Who is the new leader for us to follow? Andrew Tate is leaving. We don't know who to follow anymore. Who do we listen to? Who's our new hero? We got to find him. Right? It's over. Everyone's going to be looking for the next grift. And that's what Tate is going to have to figure out, right? So that's why I don't think Tate is going to completely sever ties with Fresh and Fit. But Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, and all those guys, they're definitely going to sever ties with Rolo Tomasi and the Red Pill. He's done. Rolo Tomasi, he's an old cat. It's done. He's out of here. All right? Especially with this tweet. This tweet, like Destiny's about to say, it's going to give these guys a reason for them to distance themselves from the Red Pill. I mean, they've been trying to do that for a long time because the Red Pill has a horrible connotation to it. So what are these guys going to do now? And by the way, who's to say Sneako's new transformation wasn't because Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate were already doing this? This is why I can't take Sneako seriously, okay? I'm going to just be real. Part of me feels like as though Sneako is going this route to expose him. Maybe he was sent by Andrew Tate to do it. I don't know. Or maybe he saw that Andrew Tate or heard that Andrew Tate is no longer fucking with the Red Pill and decided, hey, it's time for me to go on the offensive. I must do what Papa Tate tells me to do. Yes, I must go ahead and destroy Fresh and Fit and Rolo Tomasi. Yes. Because it doesn't make any sense how Sneako just did this change 180. He's blaming it on the trip that he traveled to, but my guess is Andrew Tate, listen, Andrew and Tristan had a change of heart, and so did Sneako, because Sneako is still a little puppet. I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense why they're all jumping on this wave. Why now? Why now is what I want to say. Okay, why now? Guys, you guys should be thinking about that too. Why now? Sneako, why? Why now? Be too cool. Shout out to you for the $10 super chat. He says, yo, Rolo knew he fucked up when he said definitely there's no such thing as a high value man and a high value woman towards the end of that debate. Yeah, because it ruined everything. Because then what is this for? What is all this shit for? All this stuff you've been preaching for decades, what is it for at the end of the day? But thank you so much for the super chat.
I suspect that when I saw the red pill growing, one of the most cringiest parts is finding all these like hyper religious people who had gotten into it. Mm-hmm. In my head, I'm like, this whole ideology is antithetical to.
Yeah. Oh, that too is probably a hard thing to deal with. Yeah.
I think that because that's how a lot of their fan base grew. Like all of a sudden, I saw seeing like a bunch of Muslims just fawning over this kind of content, and I'm like, you guys really feel like this movement is congruent to like your religious values? Mm-hmm. And I suspect that when this whole vasectomy thing happened, and like pretty much like, hey guys, give up your ability to have kids and have a family, which is core to a lot of religious cultures.
Chat, be honest. Who do you think they're gonna follow now? Who do you think they're gonna like? What do you think is gonna happen? Because they're gonna have to move from Rolo. That's especially when Andrew Tate starts to get to the point where he's denouncing all these guys. Who do you think they're gonna follow now? Right? Just be honest. All right. This Beetle says, Duke, you can't read. Yeah, I'm dyslexic, bro. I still made it through school, so yeah, I don't. Yeah, my words jump at me, dude. I read things out of place, but hey, I still get the overall idea. That's what counts. Did you get the message, bozo? The red pill's over with. Bye-bye. Sayonara. No one's going to miss you.
I think a lot of people started to realize there's an issue there, and it became very incongruent with the religion, and that became obvious to a lot of people. So I think that's also a big part of it. And I think that's also why you saw Ben Shapiro and a bunch of other conservative people responding to that tweet. It's like, oh, wait, no, you are now with like our religious values when you're espousing this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it gave them a really easy way probably to separate themselves from that movement too, right? Because like for as much as people love like Tates and shit, like they are pretty toxic to be like associated with. So having like a clear delineation between like, oh, hold on, these are the red pill guys and this is us, we're real conservatives, especially as the Daily Wares, I think, try to set themselves apart from that. It was probably really nice too. So yeah, Rolo just gave like the perfect like inciting moment for everybody to kind of like start to break away. And then, like I said, you saw it too. Like, oh my god, like watching Myra like try so hard to defend Rolo's stupid statements on that show was so sad.
I think he didn't know. I think he doesn't know how reversible vasectomies are. I think there's a lot of people who overestimate.
Abba has a point. I don't think a lot of people understand. These red pillars are promoting just get a vasectomy, right? Rolo is promoting in this book vasectomies and condoms, right? So like, bruh, like listen, I don't think you understand how irreversible a lot of those vasectomy processes are. That's why you sit down and you consult with a doctor before you go ahead with that procedure. A lot of y'all are just saying, well, it's reversible. Whenever I feel like having kids again, I'll just, reverse the tubes. The longer you go without having kids, or not having kids, with having a vasectomy, the less chance you have of having kids. That's how that works. And these guys are advocating that for his young men in their 20s to have vasectomies. Of course, people are going to have a problem with that. Especially these conservatives. They don't rock with that shit. They over here preaching family creation. And all of a sudden, here's this bozo in the red pill talking about, no families. We got to be like, listen, Margaret Sanger was right, okay? Just like we sterilized the black women population and the white women population and this, later on in America, it's time to sterilize the male population. You men need vasectomies. You got to start out at the age of 20. I think Rolo jumped the gun on his agenda. That's what it is. Rolo, you jumped the gun on your agenda. You didn't realize this tweet was going to blow up to be this big issue that it is right now, but it is, and you have nobody else to blame but you.
How reversible vasectomies are. They think it's just like a quick surgery you do, and anytime you want, you can get it undone. And so I think they just said a bunch of stupid stuff, and then once you guys had told them that they were wrong, you didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think if you ask most people, like, oh, vasectomies, are they like reversible? Most people think they are, because that's what even I'd heard that many times before. It wasn't actually until that podcast that I found out, like, oh, it's actually not reversible.
Yeah, or as time goes on, yeah, they're definitely, it gets worse and worse. And like, even if they're like generally reversible, like let's say they're 90% reversible, you've just sterilized 10% of your audience. Like, what the f?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember at one point, I think you guys said after 10 years, like the odds of you reversing it are 30%.
Something like that, yeah. I've read a lot of different numbers, but yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Myro said something like, well, that's fine. You can just do it for 5 years. And I started laughing. You're like, okay, so like, when do you start? When do you start? You want to start at like 19 and then stop at 25?
Yeah, that's
like,
what me and Sneako were bringing up. Like 25, that's when you're going to be a high value man. Like that's when you've got all this shit like taken care of. Like, come on.
And what about all the you did before 25? Well, what all the women you got pregnant there? Like, how do you gonna save that shit?
Yeah, and I thought that like I thought the whole point was that like men don't have any value early in life, right? Like if you're a man and you're under a grind and all that shit, like are you even f***ing that much from 19 to 25 if you're like doing all this stuff to be like hardcore grind setting?
Hey, people always find time. You know, one part that made me laugh a lot too, because I think you were talking, and then Fresh was like, I agree with you. You're like, no, you don't. I just said the complete opposite of what you just said.
I hate it when people do that shit. When they're like, oh, I think we mostly agree. And I'm like, no, we don't agree. Why are you saying that? It actually triggers me so f***ing much. I start calling people on that. I'm like, no, we don't agree. I just said the opposite of what you said. Don't say we agree.
That's facts.
I hate that.
A lot of people do that shit.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to go too hard on those guys, but honestly, Fresh was embarrassing in that whole discussion. I didn't know what this guy was talking about. He kept trying to, I felt like he kept trying to smooth things over whilst also trying to make Rolo sound reasonable. And you guys were just like, nah, we don't agree. We don't agree. Rolo's being ridiculous.
Fresh, listen, if there's anyone that would have potentially been responsible for ruining Fresh and Fit, would be Fresh. I wouldn't be surprised. If somebody would be responsible single-handedly for the downfall of Fresh and Fit, unsuspectedly, it'd probably be Fresh. All right? At first, I thought it'd be Myron, because Myron's the one that got a lot of these dudes into the controversy that they were in for the longest time. But if you're really thinking about it, the dumbest shit Fresh says, especially when it comes to capping for Rolo, I believe he'd be the one single-handedly destroy his own platform. No ham, no fault. He would do it. That's him. Let's continue. Oh, shit. Squared Away. Shout out to you for the final super chat. He says, part of the problem is that it contradicts the red pill and sometimes MGTOW message of self-discipline in all things. Listen, I understand where MGTOW is coming from, okay? Listen. MGTOW makes sense if you're just getting out of a relationship and you don't intend for it to be temporary. MGTOW also makes sense if you're older but you've been through a lot of relationships and you're saying, okay, I think it's the rest of my life. I already have kids, I already have my shit semi-set, and I just got done rebuilding my life from the last divorce I had. I think it's time for me to live the rest of my life alone. It makes sense on both fronts. Where MGTOW doesn't make sense is if you're a 21-year-old kid, and I'm saying kid because you haven't fully matured till you're 25, your brain anyways, right? If you're a 21-year-old guy and you are being enticed to just go away from women and go away from society, do your own thing, live life by yourself, live for yourself, things like that, you're going to be missing out on so much, especially as you start to get into your mid-20s, your late-stage 20s, your early 30s. Early 30s is when you start to get your first grasp into manhood. Right? Yeah, some of these guys will be building certain things, but there's going to be a part of you that's missing. That's your biological clock. Because men have biological clocks too. It's just different than women. We wanna procreate, especially at 30. That urge gets like 30 is when a lot of guys start to reflect and start to think about family. 30, 35 is when a lot of guys really start to really pay attention to that family, togetherness, being dependent on, having people depend on you. Needing you to take care of things, to handle things, you being on your grind. That urge for men starts to come at 30. As you guys say, women hit the wall, right, at 30 or whatever it is, right, because they're not having kids. Men, if you're not successful around that age, that urge gets stronger and stronger and keeps getting stronger. So it's the same. MGTOW does not make sense for the guy who's young, in their 20s, Some of them haven't really experienced sex like that. Some of them doesn't have an experience with women like that. And they're sitting here talking about, I'm going my own way because I had one bad situation, or I listened to some guy online and he's right about what he says about women. That's not how that works. And that's why I don't think most MGTOW ideology should be preached to young men. But if they were to be preached to young men, which they are, a lot of young men should understand where it stands for them. If you're young in your 20s, MGTOW should be temporary. It shouldn't be a permanent movement for you. Because if you're in your 20s and you allow MGTOW to be permanent for you, you're done. You're out of the game. You're out of the running. Get out. You're done. You're not going to learn the skills to deal with anybody because guess what? Women are 50% of the population, bozo. So if you're stopping and giving up at 20, you're done. Get out. You've already given up. We don't need you. Get out. You're useless. Go be useful to yourself because that's all they're teaching you. Be selfish to yourself. Fine. But don't sit there and complain about society if you already made the choice to be by yourself. You have no stake in society anymore. So fuck off. Same thing with the older guys. Go with MGTOW. All right, you're done with society. Get the fuck out. And they do. And it makes sense. When it doesn't make sense, if you're young and you're listening to these guys, stop it. It will ruin your life. It will ruin your life. And think about it. You know how hard it is for guys when they get in the... Listen, for those of you guys who've ever been in a long-term relationship and you've been dedicated, and after you break up with that long-term relationship, do you know how hard it is when you start getting back into the dating market? You know how much of a pain it is learning new lingo, understanding how women are today because you've been so out of the market and so far removed that you've lost touch. And when you finally try to get back in touch, it's that much harder until you start to really get involved in the process and eventually you get your groove back. It's hard. A lot of these boys are doing that in their 20s and they're giving up. Imagine when they miss out on, let's say, 5 years, 10 years of interacting with women, and they decide to re-engage back with women back in their 30s. Do you know how much harder it is going to be for those guys to really understand what's going on? Women of that time are going to completely be different of women of today. They don't understand that. So by the time you get to your 30s, after following MGTOW for so long, and you're trying to figure out how to get into the dating game, it's going to be that much harder for you because you've been out of the field. And then some of these guys will give up. Some of these guys will end up self-deleting because they don't know where to start or how to finish. Women will look at him like, oh, wow, you're kind of creepy, dude. You don't understand the lingo? Oh, my God. Like, these kind of... Some of y'all make fun of my earrings. Some of y'all make fun of my style. But there's a reason why I do certain things. I'm in tune with what's going on right now. That's how I know your ages. Y'all are showing me where you're at. Maybe some of y'all are married. Some of y'all haven't been in the dating market. It shows. Hey, they like dangling things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't get that yet, but you'll find out. Just wait. Just wait. It's going to be even different from now, 10 years from now. I'm in the game right now, so I know what's going on. Y'all don't. That's why y'all questioning shit. It's different. So when they're preaching young guys to do MGTOW, by the time these young guys become the 30s or 40s or 50s and they're ready to re-engage with women, no luck. No bueno. Sorry. You missed out. Leads to more frustration and sometimes self-deletion. MGTOW for young men is not a good thing. If you're already old and you're already saying, all right, I'm done, get out. You're done. It is what it is. It's not my job to stop you. More for me. Like, what are you talking about? You think we're going to be worried about you? There are people out here who actually would want to try. There are people out here who are still in the game, and they're not, like, sitting here giving up and doing all this stuff. Matter of fact, we applaud less competition. You're only doing us a favor. Get out. You've already proven yourself as a quitter. Quit. I done been married. I done been divorced. I done been through it all. But I don't let these movements define me. I don't let the hatred, I don't let the anger define me. I move past that shit and I move on and get my groove back, and we back to square one. We're moving, we building, and guess what? Now we're grooving. Y'all don't get that. Y'all hit a bump in the patch and you give up. And yet you're supposed to be the ones that are supposed to be the leaders, high value men. You can't even push past something. Get out of here.
ridiculous, and you guys are simping really hard because his book is on the table. I'm like, yeah, get him, dudes, get him.
Yeah.
Bro, I know you want to defend him because the book is here on the table, but like, bro, that made no sense.
You guys have not read the book. You guys don't know what the fuck
I'm
you're
not reading
talking
your
about.
book, bro. You can't even define what high value man is. Why would I read a book from a guy who can't have a clear definition?
You read the
No,
book.
I'm not even gonna go there. I'm fucking for the last half hour. I've been trying to explain to you this shit to you. You guys have no business being in this fucking sphere to begin with. First of all. Second of all,
keep it forever until you're 65.
second of all, and the reason why is because you devolve into. You want to know why? Like when we talk, nobody debates anymore. You know why? Because it devolves into this middle school bullshit that both of you are. But you guys are perfect. Yes, you guys should marry each other.
You can't call this childish when you were the one who started insulting. I would just ask you a question and then you said douche nozzle.
True.
Now you're gonna go play the maturity card.
Yeah.
That's good, though. I'm glad you guys had it. Are you going to do another debate with Rolo when he comes down?
Yeah, I think Myron just texted me and confirmed it for Monday. So
Monday, the debate's happening live. Don't miss it. All right. Fresh and Fit versus not Fresh and Fit. I'm sorry. Destiny and Sneako versus Roll Tomasi on Fresh and Fit. Don't miss it.
I'll be doing that Monday, and then Tuesday I'm on the Whatever podcast. So oh boy.
Have you read his book?
No.
You're not going to prepare for the thing by reading his book at all?
I mean, like, I've listened to him talk enough, and hopefully I'm not gonna have a Vosh moment here. But then also, like, we had that conversation. Not to sound mean, but he doesn't seem like a very bright guy. Like, I'm not that worried, but
Apparently his book is really insightful and good. You're not even going to give it a shot, or at least one of them?
the problem is if it is insightful or good, it's probably because it contains a bunch of really basic shit that, like, we're gonna agree with, but that, like, it's not worth, like, pointing out. Like, if it's gonna be some shit like women are generally more attractive in their youth and men gain value as they age, like, to some extent, of course, I'm gonna agree with that, right?
Right.
My issues are going to be with the more insanely stupid shit that he says.
Basically, for you, you're basically saying, like, it's not worth the research because, like, the odds of it being relevant to the discussion or there being anything of value to add is, like, not very high, so you're not going to bother wasting the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever read somebody's books in preparation for a debate?
Yeah, I read Lauren Southern's book on immigration.
Why'd you laugh before saying that?
Because it was reading that book was, as soon as she realized I'd read it, I had spent so much time preparing for an immigration debate with her. This was like 7 years ago. And as soon as she realized I'd read it, she completely changed the topic. And I was like, okay, well, this was a waste of time.
You should have just come in with quotes. You'd be like, chapter 3, line 47. And you should have started rattling shit off. That would have been funny. Was the book good?
I mean, it was cute, I guess. It was like a 60-page, like, very, like, immigration is bad. Yeah.
Is that even a book? That's a pamphlet, bro.
I mean, isn't that basically Myron's book?
Is his book 60 pages too?
I think so, yeah.
Yo, that title made me laugh. Why women deserve less.
Yeah.
Hey. That's a funny title. I can't believe. Hey, listen, at least he's consistent with that nonsense.
True.
That's funny. How do you feel about Pearl and her collapse happening?
It's unfortunately now it's gotten to the point where, like, when I hear her talk, I get angry. And now I'm starting to, like, read all of her tweets in her voice. And she's genuinely one of the worst tweeters. Like, had the pain of, like, reading over and over again in my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit, she says a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, it's very bizarre to watch her, like, just say things. I don't know what her motivation is sometimes, or how what her thought process is, if there is any. I can't.
It's just
tell.
like the thought process is like, think of like the most ridiculously stupid thing to say about women. Like this could be a Pearl tweet, right? Like
They're about to go in on Pearl right now because Pearl be talking hella shit. Pearl's really stupid. She's really dumb. Belle Leduc, thank God Jamaica's leaving. Shout out to you for the Canadian flag. Bebe Leduc, I'm sorry. Anakin Sneako, 2 wives for the Grand Wizard. Sneako's, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't trust this new Sneako, because I feel like he's just playing a game. I feel like Sneako always knew what he was doing, because the old Sneako, he pretty much came back to being the old Sneako. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, he is a little too wise, even for these red pill dudes, because he had them all fooled. He got them all fooled. It's crazy.
women say that they never have orgasms, but women also say that sometimes when they get raped, they do have orgasms. Does this mean that women actually get raped and like it more than they let on, and there are even more false accusations than we realize? Like, that's like a Pearl tweet. It's like combining all the most retarded shit you could think of in the most retarded way you can think of for the most retarded combination of words you can think of. It's like,
I'm not gonna lie, that does sound like something Pearl would say.
yeah.
That's actually really good. Have you been practicing?
There was like 3 days where, because I responded to one of her tweets and then I started seeing all of her tweets, and it's just like, I don't know, dude.
Let me go take a look at some of her tweets. I'm sure she's tweeting right now. Ja Pearly Things. Let's see what we got. H. Pearl Davis. Okay. Let's see what these topic points are.
If the gender wage gap was really 90 cents on the dollar for every dollar that a man earned, wouldn't that mean that companies would just hire all women to save money? That means the gender pay gap must be fake, right? Like,
that just sounds like Pearl. That sounds like a dumb shit Pearl would say. No cap, bro. She's dumb.
that would be another Pearl tweet.
Oh, I thought you were actually reading one.
No, I just.
Okay, here we go. Reaction channels are becoming the new CNN of YouTube. They pretend to be the center, when really they're just bad as a liberal media.
We're liberal media. Every reaction channel is liberal media now, according to Pearl's tweets. She really hates reaction channels, dog. She don't like us, dude. She don't like us, bruh. She trying to get rid of reaction channels, dog. This is funny.
I realize Cap sounds like I'm yelling on Twitter, but I really just like to add a little spice to the tweet. Just the idea of Pearl adding spice to anything makes me laugh. She looks like the most flavorless.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow, you really.
I don't know. That's just something about Pearl and the word flavor just seems incongruent.
Oh my god.
Her voice is monotonous. Her style, her look, her face, like everything.
Did she try to flavor some chicken before? Correct me if I'm wrong. Pearl tried to flavor some chicken before, and it just looked bland as hell. Yeah. Listen. If Pearl putting spice on anything just sounds disgusting. I don't even want to know what it is.
About her is just so plain. Oh my God, can someone in Florida or Nashville teach me in the next 2 weeks? Oh, someone said, I want to see you sew. Oh my God. I'm loving this. Oh, Zerka. Why is Zerka here?
Where is here?
I guess Pearl Davis retweeted him. And Zerka's like, Abba, this snake oil salesman pretends he's a good guy and is filled with fortune cookies.
Oh, Zerka f***ing hates you. And he's having like a...
Wait, I've heard of that name before. He was on Alex's show, I remember. And it's, I remember Zerka. And Zerka's a clown. And I wish Alex brought me up there to debate that fool. He's an idiot. He's one of these dudes that's trying to be a Tate. He wants to be an Andrew Tate so bad. Now he's sucking off of pearls. Bruh, hey, Zerka, you're a clown. Anytime, anywhere, bruh. Let's run that debate. You a clown. Yeah, Zerka's one of those ones. He's like a Tate Jr. He desperately wants to be a Tate Jr. Like, bro, you're cringe as fuck and you don't even realize it.
I think psychotic meltdown on Twitter right now. Maybe he is bipolar. Would explain a lot.
But really is a cheater. Disloyal to friends like Fresh and Fit.
Abba and Preach were never friends with Fresh and Fit. See, again, just because content creators collab does not mean they're best friends. Y'all need to wake up out of that weird YouTube shit, bruh. Abba basically went on their show because Fresh and Fit were talking shit about him first. That's it.
Okay.
Zerka has been nonstop tweeting about me for like the last 2 days. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. Did he lose his podcast yet?
Which one?
I don't know, the one that he's doing that he said was going to make him blow up or whatever.
Oh, I don't even know what he's...
You guys have an interesting relationship. I feel like all he does is talk shit about you, but he always shows up in the Discord calls.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
Did you guys have him in your home?
Have we? Has Zerka ever been to my house before?
Didn't you say he stayed with you when he was in Miami?
I don't remember now.
I don't think so.
Would you let him stay at your place?
Right now, probably not. Jesus. No, I jumped the wrong way. Yeah, right now, probably not. Bro, okay, these levels got hard.
The fake news reaction channels constantly paints my wife's school channel as a school of me teaching people how to be wives, when it's actually me learning skills that would help me be a better wife and a mother someday. Manosphere content helped me understand men better.
You're lying, Pearl. That's a lie. You grifted off of Manosphere content.
Part of the reason why I started my channel was because I felt women needed to see this. It's good for women if we listen. I've stayed back after the show with 20 plus girls showing them the content. Many have come back and said it changed their lives and helped their relationship. Oh, this is actually pretty wholesome stuff. Why are you shitting on her Twitter? It's nice.
Yeah, true. My bad. Maybe I am the toxic one.
The fake news reaction channels never ask me for my side of the story before releasing hit pieces on me. Don't fair journalists want to hear both sides? Huh?
Ooh. She's really obsessed with, I don't know who taught her this phrase, fake news reaction channels, TMZ reaction channels.
No, it's I know, it's Candace Owens. She's managed by Candace Owens. A lot of the things that you see coming from her mouth right now is coming from Candace Owens' management team. I know these guys, Destiny and Abba and Priest, are not going to know that because we're a lot more in the red pill and we're on Pearl's ass a lot more. Pause. All right, but we understand a little bit more. Pearl's being managed by Candace Owens' management team, the same people. All right, lead attorney confirmed it, Anton confirmed it, they all confirmed it. So if you're hearing some of this right wing, these fake news reaction channels, it's Candace Owens. I told you. I wasn't lying about the massive conservative grift that was coming into the red pill space. This is what it is. And all of a sudden now Roll Tomasi is somehow good with Adam Sosnick. And they're back on the valuetainment train, just as Tucker Carlson getting fired and Trump looking for another platform to hop onto, while Patrick Bet-David sitting there just sitting there chomping at the bits, hoping that Tucker Carlson will pick his agency to come sign with, or hoping that Trump will come do a media outlet with. You know why? Because that spells big clout news for a lot of these guys. Hey, listen, bro, when the elections come 2024, wherever Trump is going or whoever's getting elected, whatever media they're going that direction. It's just a grift. So it's crazy. Pearl's being managed by Candace Owens.
Yeah, I don't know. She has that phrase. Oh, she even put that in that. I saw that comment she made on your video.
Yeah, fake news media or some other shit.
Yeah, she called you guys the fake news TMZ reaction channels, even in her comment on your channel.
I think it's so funny because Pearl does a lot of reactions.
Yeah, I know. It makes me wonder if, again, there's a guy in India or Sudan or whatever that writes the tweets for her. It's outsourced.
If you just go on her channel and you search up the word react, there's hundreds of videos. I don't know what this retard is talking about, but she does a lot of reaction content.
And we're going to end it right freaking there, guys. I appreciate you being here, but the next episode we're going to do is Rollo's response. Because, yes, Rollo actually has a response to this, and I find it completely hilarious because he doesn't answer for anything, and just like the modern woman he likes to rail against, he takes no accountability for his bullshit statements that's currently breaking apart the red pill. But, yes, it's over and done. Andrew Tate and the Tate brothers, they are no longer associated with the red pill, and you have Rollo Tomasi to thank for all of that. Hey, 2023, year of vindication, you did the job for us. We didn't do anything. You the one that took down your own baby, bro. You committed infanticide to your own baby, calling it no more red pill. It's over with. All right, all the shit that we're saying that was true, it just came to pass. So, sorry, but not sorry. You did this to yourself. So, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you being here. It could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with us. I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.